This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening, everybody. 7 o'clock, straight up, as we are all seated and happy to be here in Studio C, coming to you live from Central Phoenix. We do it each and every Tuesday night, 7 to 10, Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. How the fuck you figured out? We're here.
You look at a map.
You look at a map.
On the map, they kind of show it.
A clock. I know, but then there's our part that doesn't quite work.
Wow, that's
Yeah, Arizona time.
It's all good. But
Didn't they just veto it in Indiana? Didn't that governor, was it Mitch Daniels? Didn't he
for
just
daylight
say,
savings?
fuck it, we're doing it?
No, I don't
Because they
remember.
had fast time and slow time in Indiana. Parts of Indiana did it, parts of it didn't.
I don't know. We can certainly Katie, Google that, would you please? Let's get on.
I'm on it.
And I want to say, and it was county by county in Indiana, and they used to call it fast time or slow time, depending on where they fell in the.
Sounds like
Is that where Ridgemont High is?
It's like
exactly. Spicoli. And
wow, there's a throwback for you. For those of you who are of a certain age, understand Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I actually don't think I've ever seen the movie. I've seen clips. I know
Clips
that.
of it.
I've seen
really funny.
clips of all of it.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Does the humor still hold up even though it's 30 some odd years later?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a safe one.
Yeah.
We'd also like to
Which
wish.
is one with the kid masturbating to Phoebe Cates.
Fast times.
Fast Times.
Okay.
Yeah, actually,
There's
I had to think
is
about
it
that.
Judge Reinhold?
Yeah, Judge Reinhold.
Reinhold,
It's a
yeah.
class.
That's
It's a
the-
classic
Her
scene.
brother. Isn't that her brother?
No, her best friend's brother.
I guess I should
Yeah.
do that so people can see us. Now people can see us. I
Where
didn't.
we get Sean Penn from.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotcha.
What are you talking about, Mr. Hand?
Wow. If you look at a picture of Sean Penn then and now, what a vast difference. One time you're married to Madonna and the rest of it's like, woo. Though a brilliant actor, I couldn't take that away from him. I have enjoyed him in a few different movies, including Milk, which you and I saw together. It was a good thing. Before we get too far into the show, I'd like to welcome everybody listening out in the great beyond. Those of you who are in such countries as, well, at this point, the United States.
What's up, U.S.?
Well,
But-
they don't have the map up.
And
At times.
I would also like to give a shout out. Congratulations to 2 years sobriety to Whitney Houston. As of today, bless her heart, she's doing good.
Later today.
But still, it's the anniversary.
You still have your finger on the pulse of that?
There it is.
There it is.
Okay.
I almost couldn't feel it.
So I know that I get that that's a funny. I know. Yay, Whitney.
yeah.
But I
Okay,
actually.
no, not yay, Whitney. She's dead.
She
Still
is,
dead.
but she's
Still
sober.
dead.
But
But she's
I
sober.
for some reason I thought you were going to talk about Big Brother, which you wouldn't. But
I'd never watched
my
it.
brother, as of yesterday, got his 2-year chip.
Oh.
Yesterday.
Oh,
wow.
He and Whitney are neck and
Well,
neck.
they
but
really are.
His is above
Different.
ground.
Different.
Yeah.
He's doing really well
They're like
in his
6 feet
sobriety.
apart.
Her, not so sure.
Or so, give or take.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go, my brother. Yay, Matt.
Congratulations.
Sadly,
That's
Whitney's still
wonderful.
making money off
Well,
of
that
music.
made day one kind of a wake-up call to watch Whitney Houston
Yeah,
slip
I
under
guess,
the
right?
ice.
Oh,
Yeah.
right?
So, how do you
that
feel
is
your
true.
success is going to be? Ooh, good. It's going to be good. We're going to
Better
be
than
fine.
hers.
Better
Yeah.
than hers, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have a better chance.
He's not
if
an
nothing
avid
else.
swimmer, is he? Because I mean, that was where her fault
Oh,
is.
yeah, he is
I mean,
actually.
I don't mean
Yeah.
swimming. I just mean water in general.
No, he's
is-
actually good with water. So
Okay,
he was
good.
like
That's
he was
good.
coming out ahead.
Does he
there.
prefer baths or
The word
showers?
buoyant has been used.
for me and you too. I
Yeah.
think I love that. Oh, so
We're
much.
going to hell.
Again, I feel like I have been completely scattered in trying to get into the show, and I live here, so that shows you how squirrely my day
Studio
has been.
Trying to get into this room.
Yeah, just to get
How
in
the heck
here.
did I open that door?
How do I get my desk in one room of the house to another one? Oh, put one foot in front of the other. Seems to work out really well.
like it.
Katie, what the fuck what's this water doing here? What's going on here?
Well, I mean, just trying to stay hydrated. I was actually out.
It's not July.
Well, it feels like it could be.
Okay.
Just about.
Is this
A
sober
really good
October?
joy. No.
Fe-
I've also got the
Oh,
cunt
got it.
bug.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I'm flinging around. So
Yeah.
I went out to my parents today to have lunch with them at Trilogy at Vistancia, and I will reiterate again and again, I'm ready to retire and move
For
to a
those of you
retirement
outside
community.
of the Trilogy area, that is apparently is it a retirement community or is it just a housing development?
It's a 55 plus
Oh, you're not
active
even
adult
close.
community.
You're not even close.
No, but I said to the guy at the counter today,
And I'm-
he goes, when I was getting lunch, I said, I'm ready to be here. I am literally, move me in. And he goes, you don't even have to be 55 anymore. You know, they're doing the, what did he call it?
Yeah,
They're
'cause that
doing
would be
like a
age
two. He goes,
discrimination.
they're doing
Somebody would sue.
Yeah.
Sure.
He goes, they're doing a twofer. Just marry someone over 55. I'm like, I mean, it's not a bad
God.
idea.
Yeah.
How old's Kelly?
What if you married someone who was like 25?
Or
and then
two.
you add,
And we just add,
you just kind of add it together.
subtract,
Yeah.
subtract the
or
children.
two, like get a 30-year-old and a 25-year-old
Yeah,
married
and
two
then-
and
people.
Clayton, you're
Done.
in.
Oh well, I don't know about
You
that.
and you're in.
Yeah.
No, what I'm concerned about with this is I had a joke and I lost it. I hate when I do that.
Damn
it. It's about, oh no, I know what it was. You say you're ready to retire today.
Today.
And then by next week, you're like, I'm out of here. I'm done. Because I know how you are. It's a good idea for a week.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like, no, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Well, 2014 is the year of no, so I might.
Oh.
It's my year of no. I'm gonna start saying
What
no
does
to
that
things.
mean?
I
Oh,
have
I
to
see.
start saying
The
no
year
to
of
things.
the year of the horse and the year of no.
Yeah. Nay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was really good. I
Way
enjoyed
Way
that.
to, way to tie in the Chinese.
That was good.
Yeah,
And you didn't have to even drive anything. That was good. All right.
Well done.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll be done with all of my volunteer commitments at the end of this year, and I will
Shit.
be ready to move on.
You're high. You'll never be done. You will never be done.
Well, I said it was the year of no. 2 days later, Barbara Seville called me and asked me for something, and before I even knew what she was asking for,
I'll
I
do
said,
it.
"Yes, absolutely, sure.
Yeah,
What do you need?"
yeah.
And I hung up the phone and was going, "God damn it, Katie! It's the year of no."
well,
What's happened to you?
right after you hung up, you went, no!
Yeah.
See,
there
so
it
it all
was.
ties in. It all ties in and it works out.
That's a good
Now you
point.
just have
It was
to
a
learn to
very-
say no at the right time.
I know.
Right.
I know. Yeah.
That comes
no.
in June.
I know, but what did Barbara ask y'all to do?
We are part of, and actually, we're going to be re-recording, by the way, just so you
Oh.
know that. She's her production number for her talent number, excuse me, for she's running for Miss Gay Pride.
Miss Gay
Yes.
Pride, yes.
Miss Gay Pride Phoenix. She's running for that, and which you'll love the talent number because it's very cute, and you're familiar with parts of it. So it'll be interesting. We're just recording audio bites because obviously, the way that it's staged, we can't speak live from the stage, so we're just recording our own parts. I unfortunately can't be there for the live performance because it's the first night that we start back with patio shows at Charlie's, and I can't be guaranteed because we don't know where she's going to be as far as contestant
Right,
number.
right.
So I can't be guaranteed to be there. So
Well, and it's a far drive. If you were there, it'd be hard to haul over to.
right, it's in downtown Scottsdale,
Yeah.
which is a great place to have a pageant. That I was there a couple weeks ago for one. That really is a great
I agree.
facility to have.
It's at the venue of Scottsdale. It's
Oh,
on
but-
March.
The 16th, because
16th.
that's the Saturday night, right?
And it'll be a really good time. She's like putting a lot of work. It's going to be a really fun program.
It will, and I will tell you a little more off the air what she's doing. It's just cute as hell. I'd like to say hello, Harrison, Tomo, my mom, Mama Di,
guys.
and Marnie's girl. That would be Ernie or
hey,
Aaron.
friends.
It's all in the chat room. If you would like to join us in the chat room, please do so. You can go to the QTalkAmerica.com website. There should be a banner at the top of the page. You can either click to watch or click to join us in the chat. Either way you want to do it is good. Katie, what you been up to?
Yeah, I'm just watching the Olympics. Really excited about that.
All the games that can be played in slush.
and
That's
slush.
That is
Now, are you
killing
able
me.
to see it better than Bob Costas or not?
I mean, just
Any Stevie Wonder, I think, could probably at this point. Bless his heart.
God bless him for trying.
oh
that
my
has to
God.
be so uncomfortable.
so, and I'm certain that probably everyone knows that what we're talking about is that Bob Costas has pink eye in two eyes.
Now.
I don't think it's pink eye because no one would go near him.
Yeah,
they
he
kept
said
saying
it was
a
eye
virus.
infection.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
other
If it was
virus.
pink eye, you can't go. You
Right.
can't go near him.
Yeah. So hopefully it's not. But
Yeah.
it's not looking good, whatever it is.
No, it is. And but he had my
horrible.
best joke, the best joke ever last night because he's always so goddamn funny.
Yeah.
So Mary Carrillo, is that her name?
Yeah, yeah.
She did her pre-tape segment on vodka and
Oh.
distilling vodka and tasting vodka. And
I
they
saw
they
this.
did the whole thing, and
heard
you know
this.
how do you taste the vodka? And you rub it in your hands and you smell it, and it something I don't know what it was. And they come back to the studio, and he just hands her a glass, and he's like, "And we're gonna drink we're gonna have a drink," and she's like, "What?" No, we're gonna have a drink,
this.
and he's like, "No." She's like, "Is this Kathy Lee and Hoda?" Like, "No, I don't do this." And he's like, "No, we're drinking, and we're drinking now."
Yeah.
Right down the hatch. And she kept staring at it, and she's like, I don't want to drink. I'm live on NBC Sports.
Doesn't matter.
So he goes, what does it matter? My eyes aren't getting any redder tomorrow. And he slams it down, and she did too. And as soon as
he slammed it. It was
as
great.
soon as he said that, she was like, fuck it, let's drink.
Yeah.
You're in hell.
Yeah.
Right.
That is
And it was just like,
very
what a good
funny.
sport, though, for
Yeah.
him to. And there have been Bob Costas' eyes is now trending on Twitter.
Right.
There's actually an account, and it's saying things like something about his red eyes, and he goes, "But I gotta hand it to the guy. Iris pecked him. I respect him." And like, just people are coming up with all kinds of great jokes, and he's on there. God bless him, like liking everything, and yeah, so it's good.
He's a good sport.
He's still all these years later.
No.
And they said he's hosted every Olympics since '98, but I remember him from '92 in Barcelona. So obviously,
Maybe he skipped a year
Well, no,
somewhere?
I think '94 was CBS, and I think maybe he's
Okay.
only on NBC. But I know '94 was definitely on CBS because I remember the David Letterman sending his mom to Lilyhammer. And
Oh,
all
I
that
do
stuff.
too. I
And
do too.
how funny that segment
that
turned
was
out.
Yes. Well, wasn't Biff and his mom? Didn't they both go? Biff Henderson from Letterman, because he always sent Biff
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, I thought it was Bud. What was his name? Bud.
But
Mel-
Larry
Oh,
Larry
back then
Bud
was
Melman.
Bud. Oh, I missed.
90,
yeah.
92
I
would have
love
still
Bud
been Bud
Melman.
Melman.
Oh no, this was
Then-
'94.
Yeah.
The Lilyhammer was
okay,
'94.
Then,
I don't remember
that
when he
I
died,
don't
but-
know.
Because
When-
that's
I
all
don't
with
remember
Tanya
when he
and
died,
with Tanya
yeah.
Tanya Harding.
Harding.
Oh no, he was alive for that.
Yeah.
He was alive.
Larry Bud Melman?
Oh yeah, he's on the Offspring song. My friend's got a girlfriend and
Oh,
he
yeah.
hates that bitch.
What a good song.
He opens that song. Now that's
every
something
day.
everyone can enjoy.
You're absolutely
I used to
correct.
enjoy him. His
Yeah.
Melman
I
bus
don't
service.
know who that is at all.
Oh, well, you'd have to go back to
Oh,
YouTube and watch
God.
old Letterman clips of
Seriously.
Larry Bud Melman.
Okay.
He was just a character actor that was just a deadpan
Yeah.
look. And
I
they
gotta
would,
Google him.
And just goofy
They would
looking
and
and
kill
would
that and kill
kinda-
that video feed you got up there too, darling.
Oh.
Because I'm hearing it coming back.
Oh, goodness gracious.
But they used to dress him up, and he was a bus driver, and Letterman would ask him questions, and his response was, "How the hell should I know?"
I feel like I have looked him up in here before.
They used to do so many
I
things
see.
with him. He was so fun.
That and the guys in the deli outside.
Oh yes, the Hello Deli.
The Hello Deli.
And his voice was just like, if you didn't like him, grating. Like that would have been just a
Right,
grating
kind of like
voice.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I
Oh,
just,
yeah,
he was
but not that.
I
Not
loved
that
him.
bad.
I enjoyed Mr. Bud Melman.
Yes.
Oh, we love him. Good
By the
old
way,
Larry Bud.
Tomo was telling us conjunctivitis is caused by the same germ that causes the common cold, which I'm assuming is that we're talking about in regards to.
But that's pink eye. But that's why you can't, because if he did have pink eye, you can't.
You
If someone
catch
has
it.
pink eye, you catch it. Like
Got
you,
it.
you don't go. They have to
I
stay
thought they
home.
had to like touch their eye
No,
and
no,
touch
no, no.
you
You
or
just
some crap.
somebody has pink eye, you get them away from you
Oh, okay.
ASAP.
Even if you've had the flu shot.
Yes.
Just checking. I want to make
They
sure.
did have it on the news. They
that
said
a
stay
thing?
home
That
from
covered
work,
everything.
stay home from school. Like
Yeah,
you're
that's
out for
true.
multiple days.
Stay off.
Yeah.
Stay off international television.
Because I thought, well, that really looks like pink eye. And then somebody sat down next to him. I'm like, well, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I used
that
to.
shit would be done.
Back years ago when I worked at the NBC affiliate in my hometown, remember Bob Costas had a show called Later with Bob
Yeah.
Costas.
Oh, yeah.
And he was so funny. No matter who he interviewed, and again, it was one of those things where I don't even care if I like the person. Somehow he would make the interview and me find something to like about the
Yeah.
person.
I love
So,
Bob
but he
Costas.
was always very funny, and I think he's a wonderful interviewer. He's just a great not spokesperson, but an anchor, and also we all wish Bob Costas well here on the show because we need him to come back.
Well, we should
Oh,
write a
there's-
song.
They really are saying that it's that.
That it is pink eye.
Pink eye?
That it is pink eye.
Conjunctivitis.
Oh, well,
Maybe the glasses helped protect
well,
it from
God
other
knows
folks getting
they
it.
were big enough. He should have worn those glasses.
Yeah,
that
viral
you
and
got.
bacterial pink eye are contagious and spread very easily. It's caused by viruses and usually no medical treatment. Preventing its spread is important. Yeah, I would be suing everybody. Fuck the terrorists. Because they're saying it's conjunctivitis, and if it is, you do not go near that person. There should be
Yeah.
no one
Well,
clinking a glass with him or any of that
Can you
shit.
imagine if like everybody on the Today Show
All of
tomorrow
a sudden gets-
has pink eye?
well, that's
Like,
bad.
all of them.
People are trying to go down the slalom, like doing all the slaloms. Get like,
Yeah.
can't
all of a sudden
see
it's so bad
anything.
that they actually get Ross the intern to go to Sochi because
Yeah.
everybody else is sick. And
Right.
he's like, "Oh my god!"
It's the Olympics.
Yeah, the second gayest person in the world.
Right.
Because the
Just
first
said
gayest
it.
person is already there.
Which one?
Oh, the ice skater.
Johnny Weir?
Johnny
No.
Weir.
Yeah.
There are no gay people in Sochi.
Oh, no.
I
Well,
just
there is-
wanna
there's
let you
one
know.
now.
Well, hello.
And they're also smuggling out all of there are people over there. Remember we were talking about them? Was it last week we talked about the fact they were actually killing
Killing
the dogs?
dogs.
Yeah,
There-
Ernie turned the thing.
There
down.
are people that are now, they showed video of them, that are hauling them out of the city in their cars, like in
Well,
stage
they-
wagon,
the-
hauling them out.
People are smuggling the dogs
Basically,
out.
No, smuggling.
what
They're-
the threat was that they were going to do that. That they were going to, if you don't get them out of here, we're going to kill them. We're going to shoot them and kill them. And people kind of went ape shit, like, what? I mean, they do have feelings there apparently, and they grabbed up
Some folks.
and they grabbed up the dogs and were taking them. But apparently, in the opening ceremonies, you could see the dogs running throughout the stands.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Like up to the people.
I watched the opening
and
ceremony.
I did not see it, so I will have to look that up. But that's what I heard 2 or 3 different people say that separately, that they pointed out that there were dogs that were running up into the stands.
Oh wow! Like
Wow.
Like you couldn't, you weren't keeping
cats
them
in the-
out.
my PETA heart can't handle.
Aaron, toughen up a little bit. God damn it. You teach kids for a living. I think you
Yeah.
can handle a little bad news coming out of Russia that ends wonderfully with people smuggling dogs out of the goddamn city.
Oh yeah, here it is. Stray dogs make their way into the Winter Olympics opening ceremony.
I'll have to look at that later.
I guess it was just kind of like, here they're making it so pretty. You know?
Well, they did.
dogs
They
are
invite
running-
inviting for
It
everyone.
was. They thought it was Westminster.
Oh, well.
Oh, and when the
Perhaps. And then the mutt showed up.
when the last 2 people took the torch outside to light it, and they had all the people that were dressed up that had done the performance, and the guards were like holding them back, and I'm like, are they terrorists? I thought they were just the actors.
Right.
And there was only once, because I looked for the whole run to see if there was going to be. There was just one group of actors that they were like, calm the fuck down, people, and like the security guard was like holding them back like it was a Britney Spears concert.
Yeah, but my understanding was those security guards that were there had no idea why they were there. Like they were told to like come there or something, and they were all standing there. They were for tryouts, like come for tryouts, and so they all showed up and thought that they were going to be a part of the Olympic ceremonies. Well, they were as security.
Oh, that's
and you're not
funny.
going to get paid.
Oh.
So just stand here, and so they probably didn't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Like
Oh, it was-
what?
and there was
what am I
only
supposed
one.
to stop,
Like if
and
you
what do
watch
I-
the run of
Yeah.
the torch when they leave the stadium and go out and light it because it's outside.
Right.
It was hysterical, and I'm like, "What are those peasants threatening to do behind you?" And I can't remember. They were like from some
Light
era.
a cigarette
They
off
were
of the
from
flame?
some era of the 1,000 years of Russian history, so they were all
Yeah.
dressed the
Oh,
same.
yes,
which
right.
made it
Yeah.
even funnier. Like, are those the Bolsheviks that you have to hold back? Like,
I'm going
oh my
to sick
God.
my dog on you.
Remember the commercials back in the 80s for Wendy's where the whole premise of the commercial was everybody wants choices, so they would say they actually showed a fashion show in Russia. Same big gal, she came out all in gray, going. She went day wear, same outfit. Came back evening wear.
I do
same
remember that.
swimwear, and all she had was a beach ball, but the same outfit.
That's funny.
You
I
saying
don't
they were all
remember
dressed
that.
the same reminds me of those old commercials, which they, I guess, for international. I don't know, handshakes, if you will.
Sure.
They had to take that commercial off the air.
Oh.
But I always thought it was funny because it was
It was a
same,
very. I forgot.
Same
I
look.
forgot what it
Look
was
that
for.
up.
but it was for Wendy's because
That was
you have
funny.
all these choices at Wendy's, except in Russia, everything's the same. I'm not going to Russia for a fucking hamburger, but I don't know why they thought that was
Well,
a good
it might be
comparison.
dog.
You don't mean that.
And so tasty too.
This is great. Wendy's Soviet fashion show. I'm watching it right now.
It's so fun to have you join us in our era, Katie, because you're just a couple decades off, just a little.
A little bit.
It's good.
Oh, and Tomo, inhale all you want to. If somebody comes over and with pink eye,
I'll post
send
it
them
on our
home.
Facebook page.
To do what?
Dude,
Tomo's like, inhale the germ, get a cold, touch your eye, get conjunctivitis. If they go anywhere near your house, get them out.
Yeah.
I don't even let them in your car. They can walk. That shit is catchy as all fucking get. It's like lice.
there it is. So it's
Oh,
day
This is
wear.
hilarious. I just love that it's called the Soviet fashion show.
Yeah.
It's Wendy's.
And then it comes out, and then she goes evening wear. Da, 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 da. She walks out, does the same thing with a flashlight because it's evening. And then wait, she comes out and she does swim. They do swimwear at the end. It's swimwear. It's a delicious looking burger. We will post a link on our Facebook to this for
That is
the
really
commercial.
fun. I had no idea that was for
So,
Wendy's.
At the very end of it, they come out and she does swimwear.
Yeah, here we go. Swimwear.
And hang on. Da-da-da, and she comes out with the beach ball.
Oh, that is funny.
Posted on the Facebook page.
Where's the beef?
But I
I thought you were talking
No,
about Michelin.
different
I'm like,
woman.
I know
Different woman.
how are we gonna get there? But
I was very confused.
the funny thing was I found the history of the Soviet Union, the Russian Federation, the CCCP. I got a lot of questions.
I was so
just as
bored.
unentertaining
I didn't watch
as
any
I
of
did
it.
the British opening ceremony.
Didn't watch any of it.
That
with their
was more
tribute to
entertaining.
healthcare. Like,
That was more entertaining.
Wait, I don't remember the British
Oh,
opening
God.
ceremony, but I did think
remember they were all
the Queen
dressed as
jumps out-
nurses in hospital beds.
Oh,
but they did have
yes.
like the
And
Queen
the-
come out
yes.
with James Bond. Like there were highlights of this. This was just fucking weird.
The weird one was when they all like the guys came out carrying the carriages and the babies, and it just said like kids on the screen on
Yeah,
the
the
floor.
prams, yeah.
But the digital imagery that they used
on the
was
floor
really
was
incredible.
spectacular. It really
that
was
really
spectacular.
really.
You mean
cool.
like when they came walking out, all of that?
No,
Or-
everything that they showed on the floor
With
was this
this-
new projection thing that they just invented.
and when they showed
Hello, Tyler
that-
from Tennessee.
Hi,
Welcome.
Tyler.
Welcome.
That must have been when I was fast forwarding because it was
No,
all
it was the whole
fucking
thing.
same.
Everything on the floor
Oh, okay.
was projected on there, and that's how they kept doing those images, and that's why
It was
everything
so-
flew through the
like
air.
when the sea,
Okay.
when Peter the Great, and they were
Yeah,
talking
when the
and
ship
it was the
was-
water
yeah.
and the ship, and it
I
was
paid attention when they walked in, like the whole map kind of thing.
Yeah,
on the
and then
ground,
that was,
but otherwise, I
and they
didn't
kept
really-
Which
spinning the
was so
globe to make them
cool.
walk
Very
out of their
cool.
country. But there's still, as many times as I watch the Olympics, there's a whole bunch of countries. I don't know where you are.
ever.
Yeah.
ever.
Togo, lots of questions,
No. I think that's a drive-through.
and I was far.
I got food. I actually got food poisoning
Made
from
up-
it one time.
made up of
food
styrofoam,
poisoning
yeah.
from Togo.
Go.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So.
And they were talking about the one nation, like the Serbia, Herzegovina, like. Or whatever it is, Herzegovina, Bosnia, Herzegovina, they split up and they used to be Yugoslavia, and they were trying. But the best thing, the other favorite thing that the commentator said was when Meredith Sierra was like, "If you're confused why this is coming now, it's because we're using the Cyrillian alphabet."
Okay.
And then
Oh,
she goes,
yes.
"If you don't know what that is, Google it." And she moved on. I'm like,
Does she want a job on this show?
So fucking awesome.
I'm like, oh, I
love
missed
her.
my Meredith
I
Vieira
love
fix.
Meredith Vieira.
Google it.
And if you have questions on it, you should Google it.
Yeah, she's so
And I'm sure
great.
Google loved that.
Yeah,
like,
she was
they got a
not going to
corporate
spend
plug,
1 second
right?
trying to explain this.
That's
Cyrillian
funny.
alphabet.
Yeah.
That made me laugh.
And I appreciate the go to Google with their
Right, with their
as far as
LGBT
the
thing, yeah.
LGBT stuff.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of a cute little
There have been a
tie-in.
few, and there were actually a couple during the opening ceremonies, and they're saying, there's debate about, and I can't remember what country it was, but they had the gloves that were all the 5 fingers, 5 colors,
The colors of the rings.
and they had which of the colors of the rings, but then there are people going,
looks
oh,
like
it's
rainbow.
gay pride.
no,
which,
I can't remember what one country actually was. There was one country with the gloves and one that had the rainbow colored outfit. And
Oh, yes.
I can't. Was it
the
Italy?
rainbow colored outfit. I heard them say specifically, this is not have to do with the gay pride or any of the issues
Right.
surrounding
but
LGBT.
the glove one was really obvious
Was
because
that
gloved one was
they were
obvious.
from
Black.
Neverland?
yeah, no, yes, no, because it's got black in it, and the gay pride doesn't have
No, it
black.
does not.
There's no blacks in
There's
gay
no
pride.
blacks.
But
Not
then
here.
there was another snowboarder who did something when she came down.
Oh,
off
hers
of
was on the bottom of her board.
No, and she had gloves that were rainbow gloves that after she came down from her slopestyle event, and she went like this in the.
Yeah, she's the one that was on the bottom of her ski
Oh,
too.
okay, yeah.
She was the one that was trying to get
She was
in
actually
trouble.
doing like the gay pride business.
Yes, and I can't remember what her name is. Canadian
I'm gonna find it.
snowboarder. And
Hasn't
so
been
every
heard
time,
of since.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't find her.
Learning what the word gulag means. No, but every time she grabbed her board, she had the gay pride flag on the bottom of it.
Didn't see.
And so
I'm
they-
not watching.
She made
any
sure
of
that
it.
if they were gonna, how there's everybody when they grab their board,
Uh-huh.
there's the logo or whoever their sponsor is.
on the bottom.
She wanted that to be hers. But I didn't realize that she had gone already. I haven't. But yes, I did. Wait,
I have seen
What did we
some-
already win? Oh no, I have watched. I watched.
I think it's Cheryl Moss, gay snowboarder Cheryl Moss.
I think that's her. Is she Canadian?
Oh, I can't. No, she was Dutch. This woman's Dutch.
Oh, because I thought it was a Canadian. That
Oh,
was-
yeah, Clara Hughes and Canadian Pride.
Okay.
Cheryl Moss and Clara Hughes. So 2 gay snowboarders.
Because what was the first thing called? The slope
Slopestyle.
style.
Which is the shit.
Oh my God. That was so.
I haven't seen that yet.
And you can't. It's over. We won.
I
Both
have it
medals.
all DVR'd. I have all of the Olympics
But it's
DVR'd
they
right now.
start
Spoiler
going
alert.
down like they.
No, I don't care.
They slide
That's
down
good.
a banister, and then they go
Mary
over another
Poppins?
trick, and then all of a sudden they go on and they do 2 tricks. But it's amazing because it's kind of like what you would see if somebody was in like a park. You know what I mean? Because they get on the thing by coming down a banister or a handrail, but it's gigantic.
Okay.
And they come down that, and then they go down another device, which I can't remember what the second thing is that they slide down.
There's a barrel. There's like a couple barrels and a couple.
Do they roll them out?
Yes. We'll
have a gay old time.
Yeah. Almost.
Not in Sochi.
No.
But then they do the flips, and
Okay.
they do 2 flips, and that's the one that that the first time that what's his face
Shaun White.
Shaun White tried to qualify on,
He hurt his
or
wrist.
either that or the X Games, and he fell in the 50 feet straight on his face, and so that's when.
Still didn't help.
So then when he got to the Olympics and he
Apparently
saw
not.
theirs, he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do the half pipe.
Okay.
And that's when he got all the shit for. But if you Google it, he took a huge fall, either doing the qualifying rounds or somewhere in the X Games in January. And he goes up and does the trick and just comes down on his face.
Oh.
And he laid there for a second. So they're like, and the announcers are announcing to the entire slope, the whole ski trail. Because everybody's watching, and he's like, "If we could please get medical attention to jump number 2, if someone could please," and the other people, you can hear the commentators trying to comment on the jump, and he's like, "Yeah, great, but can we get medical attention to the redhead on the field?"
Not
And then he
kidding.
sits up, and
Yeah.
but it was really kind
There
of
were
stressful.
a couple of falls that a couple of the ladies took, slamming down, and their heads just bouncing. Oh, like,
On
and
which
then they
event?
were showing it over where they go up and with the skis.
The slope style for
Slope-
skis, the skiing
Oh,
slope
okay.
style. Because
Yeah.
there's the
Oh,
snowboarding.
yeah.
Just come down. And,
Oh, that's the.
God.
Was that on today?
Today
Yeah.
or yes? I
think it was-
don't remember. Yeah.
I'm a little bit behind on today, but that's where they do that same
Oh.
shit that they did on the snowboards, but now they're fuckers are gonna do it on skis.
She landed
insanity.
on her head.
And I know we
So
could
badly.
keep going on and on and on about the Olympics. The
Probably
one
will.
really cool thing that I will say is I love watching the commercials about they show like the person winning gold. It's like the P&G commercials or something, or the Ameritrade, I think is what it is.
It's Ameritrade.
And they show them winning gold, but then they reverse throughout their lives and show all of their first steps that it took to get them there.
Oh.
Because they
And
show the speed.
it-
They're really cute. They're really cute.
They're cute.
Speed skater.
But you've
JC,
got
JR.
to the craziest
Oh,
shit is like, you see this on the commercial. When I go skiing, there's a bar that I like to sit at. I don't actually go in the park really, but I sit at the bar right at the
Shocker.
top. Shocking. And I drink beer. Well, I watch these kids go into the snowboarding park and do the half pipe and do all these tricks and all this really cool stuff. And these kids are like 5 years old. Like we're literally 4, 5, 6, 7 to 10 years old kids that are just stupid good. And it is so cool to watch little kids do it. And then it's so cool to like think that they're just these kids that are having fun and then they end up someday at the Olympics. It's just neat. It's really my favorite
There was
favorite
a
part.
Canadian ski person with the and up in the air and all that. Sorry, moguls and
Oh, the
doing all
moguls.
things. And his brother has cerebral palsy.
But the one,
Yes.
yeah.
Did you see that one?
Uh-huh.
Tears.
Oh,
Tears.
God, I was.
I know, but I'm like, come on, we got to find a new person.
Well,
because
they
they played
waited-
them to death
Beat
in
that up
Vancouver.
pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, again, I
they
only saw
did.
was it 4 years ago? They showed something about this when he won the gold, and because he was like he's the first back-to-back person to wear
Right.
spoiler alert, to win gold. They showed him again, and I didn't see anything other than that. Like I tuned in just in time.
But- and that was 'cause I've been
But
watching
I thought
it-
they kept the camera on the guy way too long. But
And I've been watching because I've been watching in the morning when it's really live. So then when you go at night and they already knew he won, so they packaged that and they really hit that a little
Oh, got
hard
it.
Yeah.
because
Okay.
they knew he won the gold. So
Okay.
I was like, all right, we get it. Like you beat this to death 4 years ago. You don't need to like.
But
But it is a very touching story, and he is
story
amazing.
aside,
Yeah.
that run I've never seen anything like it.
was
It
amazing.
was like flawless.
I don't understand how they can do like the whole moguls thing when you're watching them. I'm just like, oh
I
my
was
God.
I was saying today at
And
lunch, I'm
they're
like,
really, really, really hard. Like I think that I'm a good skier, and they're really hard for me. So it's like when I watch those guys, I'm like,
I got caught up channel surfing and I caught what's the one what it's called where they're in they have the two skis and they come down in the jig and they launch and they like
Yeah.
a flying squirrel.
oh yeah, the
yeah, that's
whatever the fuck it is.
ski jump.
That's
jump.
amazing.
I only watch it because I'm like, they look amazing in those outfits, and I don't understand.
They look like bullets.
They do.
And think about
So
how
that was-
strong their bodies
right.
have to be to
So that
hold
was cool.
themselves. Like,
Now, the other thing that I was thinking of, and you just brought up a point that I actually didn't factor into it, I don't really get how you have any advantage or disadvantage, other than if you're my size, for the luge. You get on you're gonna go as goddamn fast as it's gonna
You
go.
gotta control it. You gotta keep it from going up the walls.
I don't know how you. I don't know. There must be more to it than I know
there's
about.
someone,
Because
one of those fuckers is steering it while the other one's praying for death.
no,
Right.
No, the luge
wait,
is-
no.
Are you
The
talking about
luge is
one
where you're
person?
individual
Oh,
laying
there's
down.
that's the skeleton.
the skeleton
Okay,
is head
the skeleton.
first.
Oh, skeleton's
the
head
luge
first.
is on your
Yeah.
back.
Okay, so
But
it's
There's the double luge, and then there's the
I'm talking
bobsled.
I'm talking the single luge. Where
Yeah.
it's one guy going 180 miles an hour down.
They
it.
do. It's how they control the turns and
I
everything.
don't get how they do. They just
But
like
it comes down to like hundredths of
To
a
the
second
second.
wins.
But they're literally going like almost close to 90 miles an hour.
that's amazing. It's insane.
I can't
Remember the
even
one
go
guy
that
died?
fast in my car without being uncomfortable. Like I'm like
Let- yeah,
uncomfortable at 90
let alone
in my
on an
car.
ice skate on my back.
No, thank you.
Right.
Yeah,
it's a little
that's
much.
crazy fast.
And
But
then
I
when
was
they brush against the wall and they're like, "Oh, there goes point. Fuck off."
Look what
90.
I'm doing right now. I'm going 90
You
miles
get
an
out
hour.
here
so
and do
I just thought that
that.
was good. But the guys just all look so goddamn good in those outfits when they were doing that
Yeah,
ski jump.
they do.
So I was there for a few minutes.
Oh, and if you watch tonight's the pairs,
Oh, the skating?
the pair skating, and the guy from I can't remember what country he's from. He wears all brown, which is very rare because he's in a very drab brown. But he used to be a roller skater, and he wanted to switch to be in the Olympics. He is hung like a fucking horse, and he's wearing it straight up the middle. And he does this move, and I'm like, it's a family program. But can I get your number?
I'll write this down.
Yeah.
I'm literally
just gonna
Googling
write,
it.
I'm gonna write brown package, and I hope I don't Google UPS tomorrow.
Wow. Or
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
we don't know.
Just spend some time in the turlet.
For me, brown package. That could be a
could
whole
be
lot.
a whole lot of different
whole lot
things.
of
That's what I
things.
mean. We
yes,
don't know.
Marnie. Aside from watching the Olympics, what's new? What's up? You did a
went
bike ride.
to-
You did a bike ride.
We
I saw.
did. We went bike riding, and this I figure I'll catch hell for telling you guys this, but especially you.
Oh.
But it was very funny to me. We go to get on our bikes on Sunday morning, and we're gonna go to breakfast, brunch, whatever, and I'm like, these tires need air. Like they need air, and I have all that stuff in the back of my car because I'm a good little Boy Scout like that, right? And So I
Okay.
have the little
good.
the little PSI thing, whatever, and see where it's at. It's
called a tire gauge.
Whatever. We're at like 12, 13, something like
Okay,
that.
and they're
I'm like,
supposed to be
we need
by 45 to 50.
It said no more than 40 on these. So I'm like, okay. So we're filling them up.
You're one
Well-
of those people that really follow those rules. I like you. That's funny.
Well, because I kept thinking by like 40, it felt like it was going to blow up. And
No.
I
Yeah,
got real
that's what I'm always
scared.
afraid
So,
of.
His are like at 60, and though it says 40,
Oh.
it rides so much better at 60.
well, we noticed it rides so much better at 40 than 12. It was
True that.
Actually, we truly pulled out of her driveway, and I said, "Well, this is much easier than it has been since we got the bikes, because we just had not ever the maintenance of them made me think of you.
Got it.
And it was really quite fantastic the whole ride. So we rode around and went to the Why Not Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
We had not been. Loved it. And Saturday night we went to the Wizard of Oz. And it
I saw
was-
you were there.
Yeah.
I was
Was it a Gamut?
Facebook
You were,
stalking you.
Yeah, you were at
The
seeing Megan
symphony,
Hilty,
yeah.
right? So it was out at Gamage, and it was just I enjoyed it.
You were also in the
tremendously.
same building with Daniel Ray at some point.
Yes,
I saw that
he
too.
saw the Wizard of Oz
Gotcha.
as well, and it was very funny because all of a sudden I said, "Guess who's here?" And Aaron, and, oh my God, Daniel Ray. So Gamage is not a small place, and I looked down and I'm like, "There he is."
There you go.
So we were able to bump into him and say hello, and so it was really nice though. Really nice. The production was really good. The gal who played Dorothy had an incredible voice.
That's
Incredible
so fun.
voice. And
Do they do the jitterbug in the stage version, or do they leave that out?
Oh my God, that is in the original movie version.
No, it's not.
That
They cut it.
It was
I'm going to
cut.
say.
So when
But
you
it
go
was-
back and look, see the
It was
uncut version.
it was produced, but
Not
they
that
took
I
it.
remember
Okay,
seeing
I
it.
just was curious if they do it in the live, because sometimes they'll put songs in that were not in the actual in any movie if they're doing a screen.
But you can get the movie version with the jitterbug in it.
Probably-
Because I
probably
remember
can.
like watching it for a long time, and then all of a sudden I saw it with the jitterbug, and I was like,
And
"What's
do,
happening?"
do you
right
know
now?
the reason that they took it out of the movie?
No.
They thought it would date the movie.
oh,
That's
Isn't
the
that
thing
funny?
that would
That's
do it.
great.
There it
Yeah,
is.
that's it.
there it is.
That's it.
There you
Not
have
a
it.
Not all the dead people. Nope.
Tin Man and Mrs. Olsen from Maxwell House.
Right.
That's not going to date it at all.
Yeah, we had a real full weekend. We did First Fridays Then we had, and thank you for reminding me of that, honey, because I totally zoned out Friday. So yeah, first Fridays, and then the Wizard of Oz, and breakfast and running, and I took Mom to the chocolate festival.
I saw your
my
picture for
God,
that.
You were
Oh, wow.
busy.
Yeah, just kind of running around. So it was, and Mom was just thrilled. She just had a lovely time, and
By the
I
way-
think I saw Honey Boo Boo's mom there, like about 7 different places.
Well, there was chocolate.
We went a couple years ago, and Kelly goes, "You know what? Next time we want chocolate, let's buy it at the store."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Good
Again,
idea."
I'm going to kind of put Kelly and I hope that she doesn't take this the wrong way, but really kind of say she and I are a lot alike.
Yeah.
Because we're walking through, first of all, it's a lot more than I thought it would be. There are booths and booths of food, just regular
It's not just for
food.
chocolate anymore?
Exactly. But
Okay.
they did have chocolate lemonade, which I could not force
No,
myself to
that's
try.
weird.
I was
No.
like, no, can't. Give me a little small taste of it, and I'll pay $4 for it. I don't care, but I don't want that.
Oh, I'm
whole
not
big
paying
thing.
$4 for anything.
Oh, I wouldn't care. But they had all kinds of different stuff there, so it was kind of surprising. But way too many people. Go if it closes at
Way.
5. Go at 4:30. Everything is still open. Run through, get your chocolate fix, get out.
I'm on board.
I'm waiting until
Ding, ding,
February.
ding, ding, ding,
I'm
ding.
waiting until February 15th, and I'm going to CVS for the chocolate.
I think that's
Right.
the way
There.
there. There you go.
That's
There
the
you
only-
go.
CVS Chocolate Festival
There you
on
go.
February 15th, 50% off.
And
all
we're,
chocolate.
All delicious.
Saturday, we're going to the book event.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to try and go
Oh,
too
the
after
we're
work.
going.
VSNA,
We're
right?
going.
Isn't that what it
Yes,
is?
I'm going to try and get there after work if I have a better week than last week.
Okay.
I have every intention, but
What time, like morning?
Early, yeah.
Okay. Well, because we're doing a 5K Saturday morning, and then we'll go out there.
Who's we are doing a 5K?
Aaron and I.
You're go- is this
for
a is this a
you.
is this
I
a
am-
is this a walk? Because
Sorry, I should have specified.
I kind of
Yes.
guessed.
Okay, because well,
Yeah.
no, I'm
No,
just
no,
like
but you're right. I
'cause
didn't even think about it. I'm like,
because
huh?
she's been doing so many the spiking and this weight loss and all this stuff. I thought maybe
doing
you've
the
been
weight
you've been
gain
training
now,
on the
but-
DL and nobody knew that you're actually getting ready to do a 5K marathon. I'm like,
You're
oh,
very
Jesus.
sweet. I'm doing the weight gain back now. I'm doing whatever I can.
Counterbalance.
Going in reverse.
Let's not go too far in this.
So now I don't want to get crazy now.
my God,
I don't want people
really?
to not
Or were you
recognize
gonna
me.
Relax. That was so 2013.
Were you gonna drive 5K? I wasn't sure.
Well, I'm not certain.
A support car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. Need some water? No, we're going to be walking.
Okay, gotcha.
We'll be walking, and if I drop something, I might have to run after it. But
That's the
probably
max.
be
That's it.
Yeah,
I understand.
I'm speculating.
I understand. Mr. Perkins, you've already said you've worked your ass off, which isn't uncommon for you.
No, and we really made it to the finish line on. I guess it was Sunday morning that I stopped bathing, and
Well,
And I-
And it is, what is it, Tuesday night?
yeah, I ran
Carried
a
the
bath
two.
that I never got in on Sunday.
could you passed out or what?
Yeah, I just could not stay awake long enough to make it back to
And
get
thank
in the
goodness
bathtub.
he got out of the tub.
So
You almost pulled a Whitney Houston if
I
you'd
did
have got
to
in.
celebrate her death.
Yeah.
So then yesterday, just for fun, I emptied the tub and ran it again and got back in and took the bath.
Good for you.
Cleaned the house and then found out that I was absolutely exhausted. And I thank God the Olympics have been on to keep me entertained because I've been so tired. And so if somebody says, Canada, the cerebral palsy, I'm like, oh, I like him. Rewind it. And I was like, oh, I can sleep through this. The kid hasn't. Well, anyways, it's horrible. But
Oh, good Lord.
the kid's charming, and he cries every time he tells it. It's a wonderful story about him.
They did a whole story on CBS Sunday Morning a couple of weeks ago about them, and I watched it. Otherwise, I really wouldn't have
They
understood.
raised
It's
$500,000
amazing.
for
It was
cerebral palsy in the last
ton of
4
money.
years, and I guess the
I
kid,
didn't know an amount.
he's the older brother, and I guess he's
Yeah.
a big celebrity. So I mean, very charming. I watched the speed skating. I think JC or JR is his name. You are just gonna lose your shit when you see this kid. He is
For speed skating?
fucking adorable. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Speed
And
skating.
he came in
Really?
fourth. He didn't medal when it was all
Did
said
he
and
come
done.
in fourth?
He came in
I
fourth.
have it. Well,
Write that down.
and again, I have them all DVR because I just like to watch it. I don't know, whatever. I'll
Yeah.
figure who won, who lost. But I saw it when the two Korean folks
And he
like fell over each other,
and it made
he
it
just
too
kinda went,
easy.
bloop.
And it made it too easy.
Yeah.
He ended up winning the race,
Yeah.
and I think it took his fight away when
Okay.
you
Came
knock
in
over.
fourth.
And I'm calling, and then I've been watching figure skating like a
Okay,
motherfucker
yeah.
because Johnny Weir, who is, I don't know, some kind of Russian doll. But I really want him because as much as he's getting wrong in life,
Right.
I do have to say he needs to go now to the people of RuPaul's Drag Race so I can actually watch it and teach them how to do makeup for high definition. Like there's
'Cause
a
he's made
high
up.
def camera on you. He is painted up like a
This him.
Botticelli.
JR.
Oh.
Oh, he's adorable.
What's his name?
yes.
J.R. what?
J.R.
Cervix.
Selsky.
Selsky.
Yes.
Did you just say
something.
cervix?
Can you spell
No, I
that?
said cervix something.
Cervix, yeah.
J.R.
I have,
Cervix.
but I have never.
Celski, in case anyone's interested.
I have never seen a human being
Selsky.
wear more makeup than Johnny Weir
It's
is wearing.
amazing.
And then he's got like big giant mascara false eyelashes on. And he's blinking and mugging for the camera whenever they cut to him. And the first day was obnoxious, but he has settled down and he's now doing very,
Oh my God.
very appropriate
I'll have to
commentary.
look up Johnny Weir on that because I don't know.
Oh no!
Washington Post 2 hours ago wrote Johnny Weir's Hunger Games inspired outfits best thing at Sochi Olympics.
But today he was wearing this fuchsia blazer with what looked like 60 barrettes around his neck in a necklace, and the cheap piece of fucking jewelry he had on the day before Tara Lipinski had like tucked into her shirt. And you can just see, and she likes him. You can tell they're friends. But every once in a while, she just looks at him like, "Oh, come on, like, please."
Shut up.
But I loved. Can you share your post from a couple days ago? Wait. Let me see if I can find it. It was hilarious.
Him on Facebook?
Yeah, it was just so perfectly written that I feel like you have to actually read it. Oh, you keep writing about him too. You wrote about his blazer today.
Well, today was fuchsia blazer from Liza's Give That Thing to Charity pile. Fine jewelry from the My Pretty Pony Needs a Barrette in the Worst Possible Way collection. And there you have Johnny Weir's costume of the day.
Oh, Jesus. I have
Oh my God, I forgot about that. That's coming up. But wait. The one that she's talking about.
So great.
God damn, I
have it.
Oh.
So 2 days in, and I don't care about the politics anymore. It's just about the athletes. And wondering when the Russian police will realize that's not pint-sized pixie Winona Ryder doing color commentary on figure skating. Oh no, it's female illusionist and fake jewelry enthusiast Johnny Weir. I've had it on like easy recall because I've been reading it to everybody I know.
Jesus. That's good stuff.
I like it. How about you, sir?
Well, renovations in my house. My house is completely a mess at this point because I am sacrificing my full-size walk-in dressing room, which is really just the third bedroom of the house. My friend Michael's moving back in, so I've been renovating that room, getting ready for him, which he's actually starting. If we hear something out
Yeah,
in
I
the
saw him
house,
coming
he's
and going.
moving stuff
Yeah.
in as we do the show right now. But then I find that I have a living room full of shit that apparently I can do without most of it.
Okay.
So I'm getting ready to liquidate some stuff because I just don't need all of it. And I can buy a new bookcase later if I need one. Doesn't
Absolutely.
matter. So that's what I've been
Absolutely.
doing, all that. And rodeo is coming up this weekend, so I'll be glad when that is over and done with.
Sure.
Amen.
Also, I had the pleasure, this past Sunday was the Miss Gay Phoenix America pageant. That was won by Savannah Stevens here locally. But our friend, I think you all, because you've been around forever, Kenneth Blake used to live in Tucson,
Yeah.
who does Dolly, does Madonna, Lady Gaga, works with Divas Las Vegas up there in Vegas with Frank Marino and the kids. He came in and was the host of the pageant, so I had the pleasure of, I was kind of just his personal chauffeur while he was here, just made it easy. He had one go-to person for transportation. I just drove him here and there, and we just had a really good time running around, and he's just such a good time.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
So
That is
Kenneth was
fun.
there, came out, he does such an amazing Dolly Parton. And the big thing for me was I got to find out a lot of technical aspects of the show as to way I knew how it used to run 20 years ago and how they do it now and how it's easier to
Electricity.
No, not that. It used to be one solid
Running water.
They used to have one solid audio track for the show, and you couldn't not be there for your number, or somebody had to fill in for you as that character because they had one master reel. Now with all the advancements in digital, if they need to take somebody out, literally it's like iTunes. You just take a module out and put in somebody else. It's easy. That's all they do.
Yeah.
All the light cues are all based off of all the electronic. It's just very cool how it's done nowadays as opposed to how it used to be. But it was just really cool to hang out with him and talk to him. And then see what else? Oh, Mom's car was in the shop, so I gave her my car to drive on Monday until she got her car back. she decided she didn't need a car that powerful. She said her lead foot was getting a little bit in there.
That's
Turbocharged,
awesome.
turbocharged car.
She's getting crazy for the week.
Yeah, Mom used to race cars as a teenager. She used to drag race.
Stop it.
Yeah, her parents didn't know about it, but the boys back home.
Shh, they might be listening.
No,
I had no idea.
all their souped up muscle cars in the 60s.
That's awesome.
I
want one of those cars.
Mom used to actually drag race with the boys back in the day, so
She's
she's
so
got a lead
She
foot.
would know where to get the booze and
The
the boys.
yeah. There's that. Okay, we've caught up with all that horse shit. Now let's move on to something else called headlines. I think we can do it right about now. Oh, look at some stories. Marnie, did you get my text?
I sure did.
Very good. All these stories and much more coming. We're going to talk about some more Olympics, I'm sure, as we go along, plus entertainment. But first, a man sets fire to his apartment in protest.
Cement and Fix-A-Flat. I wonder what you can do with that.
Complaint about a roach in food spurs a shooting.
Could I get you some heroin with that McDonald's Happy Meal?
Woman legally changes her name to Sexy.
I'm gonna shoot you because your music's too loud.
A man who mailed cat shit avoids jail time.
And the guy responsible for one ring not lighting is dead.
These stories and much, much more than you really want to hear. Coming up next on the show. Oh, Lord. Well, we're going to start in our favorite state of all of the contiguous 48, Florida.
Florida.
Lovely Florida. Well, in Tampa,
Weird.
Kenneth Haskins set his apartment on fire because the manager told him to stop beating off in front of the window. Police quote him as saying, "If I can't masturbate in front of the window, nobody can." Well, that's the attitude Florida man Kenneth Haskins may have had when he allegedly, we say allegedly because he hasn't been convicted yet, set his apartment complex on fire Sunday night, leaving 4 people homeless. The 58-year-old Tampa resident reportedly used flammable liquids to start the blaze because he wanted to get back at the complex's management company, according to the Tampa Bay Times. Recently, management told him he needed to stop masturbating in the front window of his front windows of his apartment. Police told the paper Haskins reportedly admitted to starting the fire to exact his revenge. No injuries were reported after the fire, which started at about 10 p.m. Bay News reports that firefighters had to evacuate more than 28 units and 4 were damaged, including Haskins. Haskins has lived there for more than a decade, and previously, his face was disfigured when he shot himself with a shotgun. Police said that he didn't previously have a criminal history in Florida until now. He was charged with first-degree arson on Monday, being held in the Orient Road jail without bond.
Does he have a lawyer?
Didn't say anything, but I can't like it. If I can't check off front of the window, nobody can.
This guy is like, talk about mental institution. Like, let's lock this motherfucker up. He is
him a gun.
so.
Give him a-
Well, we
well,
tried.
everybody
but
else
he
has one.
failed at shooting himself in the face. I mean, he is. This person is just. He's failing at life.
Maybe he has an eye infection.
He is losing at life.
Well, he actually,
in a
with
big, big way.
You saw a picture of him, the shotgun incident. He kind of lost one.
Oh my God! Like, his
Oh.
face.
Have you
looks
seen it?
like
I've not
yes, and
seen
it
it.
looks like when you go on your photo booth.
That's an after photo?
Yeah.
From
When
the
you-
gunshot wound.
Oh, I
When
did-
you go
okay,
on
when I read
your-
the story and saw the picture, I just thought, oh, unfortunate.
No. And think about this. When you go on your photo booth here on your computer and then you use all those filters to like swirl the middle of your face and make
That's-
yourself look
Yeah.
silly.
That's what it looks like.
That's what he
it
looks
looks
like.
like.
Like I literally thought it was like his face was swirled by a camera. It's actually happening in real life.
Real life.
It's crazy.
Swirled by a bullet.
Gun cleaning incident.
Failing at life.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good. Well, we should stay in Florida
Okay.
because so many good things happen there. No, that's not true at all. So there's this fake doctor who had a little cement and a little Fix-A-Flat. Well, see, Dr. O'Neill Morris isn't really a doctor. Not really. And also is a female, but is still identified as a male because it's transgendered woman.
So he's still swinging, if you know what I'm saying?
If you know what I'm saying.
Okay. Got it.
So there were a lot of things in the story that were kind of all over the place. And then
Sounds like flat repair. That's what I'm saying. Is all over the place.
Except the Fix-A-Flat gets bigger. And a woman went in to Dr. Morris to get butt implants.
Augmentation. No.
Dr. Morris injected this woman who wanted a little more oomph in her caboose with a solution made up of cement, super glue, mineral oil, and Fix-A-Flat tire
Oh
mender.
Holy
my
shit.
God.
What a
30-year-old Morris
good
was
idea.
arrested. If you can believe that. Dr. Morris got arrested for that. Weird. The patient wanted these butt implants. And so Morris cut her open and injected this
my
crazy mixture and then closed the patient up with super glue.
Holy God.
Why would you?
It says these kind of back alley plastic surgery procedures are not terribly uncommon in
No.
South Florida.
Oh, well,
That's
actually,
not surprising.
It's not just Florida, but
Really?
yeah.
Just in general? Because
But-
she obviously, this woman ended up in the hospital being treated for a serious condition by actual doctors.
Called
so-
fix an infection.
Called fix a big bump.
Well, wouldn't you
Not a
just
bad-
die of toxicity?
You would think
Yeah,
so,
you got cement up in your
I mean,
ass.
Well, yeah, you got cement up in your ass.
Well, then,
wouldn't you? Yeah.
I think that when I show you the pictures of Dr. Morris, that you'll see that apparently she tried this on herself as well. And when you see what junk in her own trunk is there,
Oh my God.
she was arrested on charges of practicing medicine without a license. There's that.
There's that.
Well, apparently without a mechanic's degree
Yeah,
either, because
exactly.
I'm thinking you're using Fix-A-Flat and
So they get up
Without
on the
a
bed,
lesbian.
right? They get up on the bed, and she's like, "Okay, all
Yeah.
right, we're gonna lift that up."
God damn it, I'm gonna put on flannel.
Police believe that other victims might exist, but are just too afraid to come forward.
or dead.
Or dead is what I was thinking.
It should be
without
easy
an-
to spot someone with a giant infected ass.
Now, just
You'd think it would be easier, but not for
I
so
smell
much.
cement. Super glue? Something.
God, your ass
why?
looks hard.
And your ass just keeps expanding and expanding.
You could use your tire
My
gauge.
God, I need to look at pictures immediately. I can wait no longer.
Jesus
So,
Christ, Katie.
anyone with information, though, just in case anyone's listening who has gone to
Is there a silent-
Dr. O'Neil
Is there a
Morris.
silent witness
Please
program?
call the. No, but you can leak information. That's right, I did.
I did.
Please call the Miami Gardens Police Department, 305-474-1420.
Oh, that is good.
Back alley ass enhancements can have fatal effects. So please be careful. be
Don't you want to
careful.
meet the dumb fucking ass that needs to be told
Back-
that back alley ass enhancements may have some side
Fatal
effects.
effects.
Oh, if only we could figure out how to combine back alley ass enhancements and retaliatory garden lighting
Oh.
and an airborne
It'll be
cat.
a biathlon.
I will pass that. You can
Which
see
one
it.
is
Is that the doctor?
Yeah, that's the doctor.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's who I would go to be like, how do I get one
how
of
do I-
them?
How do I get prettier?
It looks like Medea. I mean, actually, Medea looks
I know,
better.
but it's this part that you're like, what would make you covetous of that? Like,
Yeah.
what would make you say, ooh,
Talk about those are probably literally saddlebags.
it's junk, literally junk.
Well, it's a mixture of junk that's in your trunk.
Well, yeah, because she has the junk in the trunk with the Fix-A-Flat, and
then she went for
but-
saddlebags.
The
That is-
saddlebags. She probably went to like a ranch and said,
Well,
"Those'll do."
The sad reality to this story, aside from that being a real story,
Right.
you would be surprised at how many, even locally, the girls in the transgender community, or even some performers who just get sold a bill of goods from somebody who can do the injections, so they get their lips done. They do. There's a couple running around town with really horrible breast jobs that are done. They're just purely done from injection, and it's like they're just bad. Why wouldn't you go to a real licensed restaurateur?
Money.
Money.
Yeah,
Well, no, I
money,
understand that, but I
money,
mean,
sure.
but you're just risking death. I don't get. I just not.
Yeah,
to me.
but some people don't realize
Well,
that.
death and serious deformity, and I just somehow found this also happening in Miami. Cheek implants
Yeah,
that somebody.
Oh, sure.
Why? I
Oh,
just
Can you
yeah.
see that?
There's
But there are a
two
lot of-
pigs fighting under a blanket.
I mean,
there's that.
But there's so a friend,
She's cheeky.
a sort of friend of mine who's really a friend of a friend used to go down to Mexico for we'll call them surgeries,
Tune-ups.
tune-ups, freshen uppers. And he was one of those people that got like calf implants and stupid shit like that. Well, he went to get pec implants, and he went down there and they just drug you up and send you into the cab to the border, and you have somebody pick you up on the other side or something. Comes back, drain's still in, and he thought he got men's pecs put in. But the doctor, noticing that he was gay and wore a lot of makeup, gave him breast implants.
Oh no.
The first time my friend saw this guy was like, can I ask a question?
One thing here is not like the other. What's happening?
Are you trying to become a woman? And the guy was like, oh no.
Oh my
And he
God.
had to come up here and get his sexy accidental sex
Sex
change
reassignment.
Oh my
reversed.
accidental.
And how do you explain that to your insurance?
Oh my God. And it was one of the funniest things. Just assumed because no one was speaking the same language, but he wears a lot of, and he's on QVC selling that same makeup all these years
that's
later.
Funny.
Mercy.
One of the best stories ever.
Not heard of that one.
No, that's good though.
Well, we're going to stay in the South for this next story. In fact, has anybody here been to Birmingham, Alabama?
No.
No.
Well, by God, you should check out this fine restaurant. A restaurant owner in Birmingham is charged with shooting at a customer who complained about finding a roach in her food.
It's protein, dear.
Well, police say the shooting happened at Good Friend Chinese and Seafood Restaurant. The owner, 52-year-old Chun Hin Ching, is jailed on a charge of attempted murder with a bond set at $100,000. Authorities say a woman reported finding a roach in an egg roll she got at Ching's restaurant. The man gave the customer a full refund, but as she was walking out, he pulled out a gun and shot her.
Oh my God.
Here's
Shot
$5. Walk that way.
Shot at her. Shot at her. The customer was not injured, and police later arrested the man at the restaurant.
So they can't shoot either.
Calls to the restaurant went unanswered as of Friday. You don't get a roast, bang!
Well, she can't hear her phone.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's awful and
Awful.
Oh, it is.
I actually, when I read this earlier today, I was laughing out loud because I'm like, I just want to be able to say 52-year-old Chun Hin Ching and make you all think that you all thought I was making it up, but it was a real story.
That's bad.
Now, was he
That
the
is
pilot
bad.
of the Asiana Airlines that crashed?
I don't know.
you
I
go
don't-
now.
I don't know. Was there a roach in the airplane?
Oh, do you guys remember that from the Asiana flight where the reporter read the 3 fake names that the intern put down?
No.
It was like Fly Too Hard and like I can't remember, but there was 3 names of the pilots, but that when you said them phonetically,
yes.
they were horrible.
Yes.
And she did it on a local news
Yes.
broadcast.
And the
did
woman
not
read
hear this.
them.
And the woman read them out loud and just
And it
never
was-
heard it.
Never caught it.
They fired the intern, but he wasn't getting paid. So what's the difference?
What the hell? But he got that.
But he was in his. I can't remember if it was a guy or a girl that wrote there. Like, who didn't read that first? Like,
Where's your editor? Where's your chief
no,
editor?
but he.
Holy fuck is one of the names.
Katie, you are on Google so fast.
That one was an easy one to find because that was news for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. What's the other names,
Okay,
Katie?
it was We Too Low. Holy fuck. Something Wong.
Of course.
And Bang Ding Ow.
But when they got hold of the guy that wrote it, he was like, "Who would not find the joke? Like,
Oh, God.
how did it get past?" He was like, "No one said it out loud.
Yeah.
They just kept handing
Sure,
it forward." And when they
They
read
were-
it on the news, I can't remember, but whoever it was, the kid almost fell over dead. They were like, "What kind of fucking moron reads those words out loud and doesn't hear holy fuck?" And
That's
that
good.
was
Give me
the
a
story.
pen, please.
Oh,
Was
that's
that he
good.
had put holy fuck first,
It's
thinking
H-O,
that would stop
next
it.
word L-I, next word F-U-K.
That
good.
I can't believe you guys don't remember that from last
I
summer.
don't remember that.
It was on every single. CNN
I remember the
ran
plane
it for
crash.
weeks.
Oh, I've heard it. Something Wong.
I've heard that one
Yeah,
before.
so funny.
Oh, that's good shit. Marty,
So there is this.
she's writing something big in letters and hopefully in English.
Oh, I know.
Hopefully,
This
in
makes
English.
for great radio for those of you who
Hold on.
The Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Are we the lambs?
Have you ever read that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's so similar to the exact to what Katie was just saying. The sofa king, we Todd did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that took me at least I don't know,
Oh,
a good hour and some 20 years ago.
We had
I
a-
first saw it, but oh my god,
we had a
It took
whiteboard
forever.
up in my apartment kitchen in college, and one of my roommates wrote that. It
Yeah.
literally took me weeks, and I was staring at it daily, but I never said it out loud.
Exactly,
And so I
exactly.
couldn't grasp what it was. It took me weeks.
Yeah.
We had a lady. I worked
Exactly.
at this store called Gold Circle in New York for like a couple years, and it was right after Porky's came out. And we had the lady at the front desk page my cunt every fucking day. She never heard it.
Oh, that's
And
very funny.
it actually
I
stopped being
forgot
funny.
about
Like
that.
we would do it just to be like, let's see if she'll go one more day. But she would say it all the time, and it was spelled out Mike Hunt. And
Excuse me, I'm paging Mike Hunt. Mike Hunt, please come to the front. Mike Hunt, you have a call.
and we were like, how could she have not seen Porky's? Because I think it became forced viewing by the end of like the third week it was in the theaters.
Oh, that is
Oh,
really
that's
funny.
Well, there's also been commercials where furniture stores were called Sofa King. And at the end of the commercial, it's, how low are our prices? They're Sofa King low.
That's right.
And for some reason, it gets past everybody. So that works.
April Ham Lincoln.
April who? The what? Who?
April Ham Lincoln. That one I don't hear.
Abraham?
No, it says
April
April Ham Lincoln.
Well, apparently it's
I don't know.
Abraham.
Abraham Lincoln.
Someone's just
That's what
trying
I'm
for a
thinking.
sad joke.
I don't.
Oh, it's Ernie. I don't hear
Oh.
it.
That's all I'm.
Well,
that's
she-
Said
all
to
I
say it
got.
out loud.
She
A
teaches
sixth grader wrote that as an answer.
There you
That's
go.
awesome.
There you go.
something like that. Coming up the end of hour
Actually, I
one, we have Sofa King More show coming up.
Mike Hunt will join us later.
In studio.
We're gonna go live to Mike.
Mike Hunt. Live
Wow.
to Mike Hunt. There's a seafood smell near Mike Hunt.
Cheesy Pete's. Katie's got sports later on. Al's coming back with a drinking word. Couple more headlines. Entertainment. People are dying, and we're drinking. So keep with us right here on Q Talk America, if you dare.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening once again, 8 o'clock straight up. Studio C, we are coming to you live from a undisclosed place in Central Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for joining us. It's the beginning of hour two. We have this and one more hour to go, so stick around with us. Join us in the chat room if you would. It's easy.
Please.
It's easy to get to qtalkamerica.com. Look for the banner at the top of the page. Join us in the chat room live. You can also watch us if you're only listening. There's so much more to the show if you watch us because, well, they're just bad.
I dance a little.
We do. You know what we haven't done in a long time is a dance break.
A dance break,
We haven't
yeah.
done a 30-second dance break in a while. We have to bring that up here in a little while. But at this time, we do have to get this little bit of business out of the way because every week it goes something like this.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
I want a drinking word to be amen.
Amen. Okay.
Okay.
I like, okay.
Amen to this. Amen to that.
God bless her. Okay.
I was listening to a RuPaul song today before that snort. And and it's the one that started with, can I get an amen in here? Can I get an amen in here? And I just,
All I heard
I
was
was just-
Sordid Lives.
yeah. I was just riding
That's what
my
I
bike
heard.
down Camelback going, can I get an amen in here?
Prayers mean so much.
Your prayers mean so much.
Oh, here comes the trail, and she does not look happy.
I would have never quit smoking 2 days ago if I'd known my sissy was going to die.
Snap, snap,
Ow.
snap, ow.
Ow. Ow.
It's called aversion therapy. You can just call him and ask him. He explains it better.
If you have not seen Sordid Lives,
Oh my gosh.
I have not.
see it.
You
That's
have
what
not.
this is from. No.
We have to
Yes,
show you.
You have to see that movie.
Is it like the BBC?
No.
No.
It's called a dark comedy about white trash.
Oh, that's perfect.
And it is
Yeah.
hysterical.
Oh,
Now
God.
come.
This apple pie is delicious. Who made this?
Oh my God, there's so many. Like, can you see my pussy now? She never did care for old cockadoo. Marnie, you're up, my dear.
I never saw no goddamn
Boll
boll weevils.
weevils.
Amen.
That pig never got to compete at the fair.
It's a movie, she says.
Yeah, it's a movie.
I thought maybe it was a TV show.
Yeah, well, they tried it
It
as
was
a
gonna
series.
take
and
Yeah,
it
they
a
did,
long
failed.
time.
they did one season. It was pretty funny.
Rue McClanahan played
That's right,
the mama.
Sissy,
Yeah. No, Sissy.
I thought she played the mom. I thought it was before she died.
Oh, right. I just call her Sissy because the joke of the movie is that she's 95 years old and she's all of their sister.
Oh, yeah.
So, McDonald's. You like going to McDonald's?
Oh,
Especially like,
McDonald's.
you know, coming up
It's a
this
bad
time
speller.
of year. Oh, God.
Oh, I
That's
just
right.
found out that the
E-I-E-I-O.
cow, C-O-W-E-I-A.
Dag
Oh, dag
nabbit.
nabbit. I did find out today, just from somebody posting on Facebook, apparently the Shamrock Shake is back.
Shamrock Shake is back.
Oh, wait,
and
'tis
I
the
have a little
season.
recipe for you that we could make up in here. And maybe we add a little creme de menthe.
We have
Yes,
blenders.
please.
We have blenders. All right.
We'll take care of that.
All right.
But you know, you enjoy the going through the McDonald's and getting the Shamrock Shake and
From the
whatnot.
beautiful country of Togo.
Maybe don't get the Happy Meal if you're in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now I don't know if it's anywhere else because I haven't ordered it yet anywhere else, but they're selling heroin in Happy Meal boxes.
Because how do you have to order it? You want a Happy
I
Meal
want a
with...
toy.
I want a toy.
I'd like to order a toy.
Yeah.
And so back in the day we used to just kind of go through and we'd get the nuggets and we'd get the little Beanie Baby and be happy about that.
Yeah.
You know, get the little toy.
Times are changing.
Times they are a changing. And so, and again, in Pennsylvania at least, they had secret codes and then a narcotic sting to make this juicier than the quarter pounder of cheese. They went through and they'd say, I'd like to order a toy. And then after paying for their real Happy Meal at the first window, they'd proceed to the second and get the Happy Meal containing the drugs.
Oh God.
And that's that. I don't think there were nuggets in there as well.
That's a darn shame because
I
they were
know,
delicious.
Seriously. And you'd think that, I don't know if the heroin gives you the munchies. I'm not sure. So far, only one employee, the Shania Dennis, has been arrested in connection with the drive-through drug operation. However, another McDonald's employee was arrested for similar crime at a neighboring McDonald's. So, in that area, or is it around the country? Who knows? It actually
I think it's an
isn't-
isolated incident.
Well,
I do believe.
it's not
No,
exactly
no.
not a brilliant idea. I
Well,
mean,
no, it's not.
No, but what's the
Like,
what's the
whoa.
town in Pennsylvania?
It is in Pittsburgh.
Because Western Pennsylvania, and they were just saying this after
At least this
Philip Seymour Hoffman died, that Western Pennsylvania has turned into like the heroin den of
I have heard that somewhere. On
the nation, and
So
now they
Right.
just had a story where they caught some kid and they called 911 and they saved him. And now they're trying to do these interventions, and because they can't figure out what's going on in Western Pennsylvania, that like
It's causing all
that
this?
heroin is going through there, like
And it's the
like
Happy Meal.
and it's no, but I mean, that's how bad it's getting. That you can go to McDonald's, and they're not offering you pot or something light. Like it's just the straight up heroin. Like
It is so sad. It is just sad to me. I have no other like thought that
Yeah.
it's
It
just
used to be the
devastating.
hamburger.
And
Now
I-
it's the heroin
I-
burger.
and I it's like, I mean, on the drug dealers' behalf, kind of smart idea. I mean, they're running a little operation, but like, how devastating as a parent if you don't actually order that and your kid ends up in the back seat with a bag of heroin, or just like the idea of
well,
it is
you had
just
to pay 'em.
disgusting.
Like you didn't just get to the front and say,
Right.
"Yeah, I wanted
You
that
did-
But
toy."
like, what if, right?
Yeah.
Or what
Or
if
he-
you
yeah.
said, "I want the
Sure,
girl's
sure.
toy"? I mean, just like this idea is disgusting. That the car in front of you is getting heroin and you're getting chicken nuggets.
Or someone pulls out a gun and shoots you because you ordered the heroin and weren't willing to pay, not knowing that you thought you were getting the girl's
Right,
toy and he
right.
thinks you're getting heroin.
It's just,
You know what I mean?
So sad.
Well,
it's
and
it's really bizarre.
They don't know how long it's been going on, or how much has passed through just within McDonald's. But there have been at least 22 deaths reported in that area alone.
Yeah, that's what I was
for-
talking about, and it's really recent, like in the last 6 months or last It's a
Fentanyl? Fentanyl? Am I saying
yeah.
that right? Fentanyl laced heroin.
heroin. Fentanyl is like what we
Turn it. There you go.
Sorry.
Because you set off to the side.
Oh,
If you're
yeah,
talking like-
sorry.
But if you're on it, it's more
Okay.
like. got it.
Fentanyl's
My
a
bad.
big, healthy, like morphine alternative for people that have an allergy to morphine.
Oh, so if you have an
There's-
allergy, then we've got hypoallergic heroin
Yeah.
over here
No,
for
no,
you.
no, but I mean,
just
it's-
let me know.
I want the green toy.
It
no,
works-
I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah.
just
but why is
We're
it
going
laced?
green.
Why?
Yeah.
No. But that's what fentanyl. I mean, that's why you would use fentanyl in a hospital setting. Is fentanyl is a little bit less on your blood pressure.
Oh, my
It's
my
for-
mom has had that like
it's
different times. Okay.
It's for pain, and
Yep.
you would usually use it before you would use like morphine or a morphine kind
Okay.
of thing. It's a different thing. But so when I read this story, and I'm like, they're lacing hair. Like, where are they getting the fentanyl from? Where are they getting the heroin from?
Mm-hmm.
And there's 22. How long is the period of time? It's really short. Like, and I can't remember if it's the governor of Pennsylvania or if it's like the mayors of these cities that are seriously like, and this has been all over the news the last couple of weeks. Have been like, we have got to stop this. Like, where is this coming from? Why is Western Pennsylvania like the heroin headquarters?
people just don't even. I mean, and the dealers and the sellers. I get that. I couldn't. I'm not a drug dealer, so I can't embrace or embody that type of mentality. But I cannot fathom selling heroin to children.
No, but this
or
is
young adults.
This region is coming up all on its own. It's kind of like somebody started selling this and got this region hooked. Like, it's not like, oh, it started in Philadelphia and then it moved
Right,
into a
like
suburb.
Suddenly
This
it's
is
just a
like,
hotbed of heroin.
this is like somebody got their hands on heroin and decided to get like this whole corridor addicted.
It just is sickening.
And now, if I could
This-
Google on this fucking
Just
thing.
say no, kids.
no. But the
But if you get a chance, find this story and read it. It's
Well,
very
that-
interesting what they're saying about it.
and it doesn't make the bags are stamped Theraflu or Bud Ice, which kind of like how with Philip Seymour
Seymour
Or
Hoffman.
like
Yeah,
they're
right.
stamped based on
Right.
where they're getting them from.
Right.
Yeah.
And it says that they're a mixture of both heroin and fentanyl. And this was from January 28th, 2014. The medical examiner is who was finding all of this. And this is just insane.
Yeah, because this story came out, and then Philip Seymour Hoffman died like
Pursuing drug
5 days
delivery.
later, and that's when I think it's the governor that came out, and
The county's district attorney is pursuing.
but whoever it is made like a big statement on like CNN, and he was out saying like, if you know something about why this is happening
Let us
in
know.
our
Yeah, it
corner
doesn't
of the
have-
world,
I'm not
because
coming up with that.
there's no cartel that's going from like Mexico to Pittsburgh. Like, what?
Right.
Who got this? Why are you selling it here? Why have you picked our area to like destroy the world?
Right.
It's a very odd story.
Now, speaking of destroying the world, have we heard anything else? Because I haven't, on the news at least, heard anything else. They interviewed 4, they arrested 3 in regards to Seymour Hoffman's death. They were holding them. Now, do we know anything else
There was
in
only
regards?
one they were charging with, and 2 they let go on bond.
Wasn't it the oldest
misdemeanors.
one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The oldest one, I think they
I
kept.
heard nothing. Okay, got
And
it.
then the 2 younger.
So did they determine at this point whether there was a direct connection between that person being the dealer or that person
No,
being...
because they have to wait for further autopsy results. And now they're saying from this other kid in Pennsylvania, and I just don't feel like it because this Google on here just sucks.
Yeah,
I
I'm
need a
kind of reading
laptop.
this. It's someone was fortunate to be alive. Like I'm kind of finding.
Right, because it just came up that they think that the people that they're arresting were in the room with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
At the time.
And he was trying it, and when he lost consciousness, they ran. And they're saying that these people had the decency to at least call 911 so this kid could be revived. Because that's what they're saying about Philip Seymour Hoffman is it shouldn't have killed him. They should have just been able to revive him, but they panicked and left him in his bathroom with the needle still in his arm. And somebody thinks they may have finished him off and just pushed the plunger the rest of the way. Like
on the 6th, they had a town hall meeting
Who did?
in Pittsburgh.
because yeah,
Okay.
The recent rash of heroin overdoses. They called a town hall meeting because it was just becoming
like 22 deaths in
20
a really
that has led to over 20 deaths in Pennsylvania over the past couple of weeks.
yeah, it's weak. Like I mean, it's like a really short period. It's really scary.
So it has sprung up recently. We're not talking months here. We're talking weeks.
and that's why they
Got it.
can't figure out like where it's
And
not
it's
like
because
It's
of
15
the-
people in 1 week. They had
Jeez,
over
Louise.
15 people have died from overdoses in 1 week,
So it's-
ranging from 22 to 53 years old.
So they're thinking like somebody came back from vacation with a big pile of heroin and is
just
now just
cutting it up for
just
everybody.
cutting it up and making a party out of it and like killing people randomly and like they're like, can you just stop? Like
Right.
whatever,
Right.
because you're not clearly not connected to someone else or you're you saw a Batman movie and you think you're going to destroy part of it. It's a very odd story.
Yeah, just
I'm-
kind of out of
I never
nowhere.
thought it would
So
come up
I
here, but
didn't
I've been
realize-
reading
yeah.
so much about it this last week.
I'm
and
sure
like,
that'll bubble to the surface. They'll figure out that.
I saw this come up right after I had it last week after Philip Seymour Hoffman's death and
I
etc.
had heard
saw
about
it.
that.
And I thought that the headline was interesting, and then I read the story, but I didn't click on the
and
you
I
can click
and
here
I
to
can't
get more,
remember
more,
who it was
and
that
now I did.
it
Shit.
came up with Philip Seymour Hoffman's death with this governor. It's not about governor.
I haven't
Pennsylvania.
seen governor
It
on
must
here.
be the mayor. The mayor that came out and was like, "Okay, you guys, there's a big famous death now. Can you pay attention to us because we've got a problem?" So it's just interesting. I don't know, weird.
Well, speaking of people who have a
There goes
problem.
the funny from that show.
Well, there's that. So, a woman who has a problem in central Ohio, she hated her name. Her name's Sheila. Not a bad name. Not at
Not a
all.
bad- no.
I don't think it's a bad name. She hated
Pretty
it.
normal name.
Wanted a name that reflected her personality more true. So she legally changed it. And now people call her Sexy.
Yeah.
That's classy.
Come on.
And in an unfortunate turn of events, she lives in Licking County.
Oh,
Licking County,
sexy.
A Licking County judge on Tuesday approved the request for the 41-year-old,
God.
and the city is Pataskala, a woman formerly named Sheila Renee Crabtree. She's now in her
Sexy
application.
crabs.
In her
From Licking
application,
County.
Crabtree called her given name the ugliest one out there. She says that if the court didn't allow her to switch to Sexy, she'd try to become known legally by her middle name, which she's been using for years, which is obviously Renee. The Columbus Dispatch reports that Crabtree told a judge that her husband and teenage daughters approve of the change. When the judge asked why she chose Sexy, Crabtree said she's fun and free-spirited and thought the change would make her complete.
I've got to
Because
see
I want
her
my
face.
children to call me sexy, because that's
Right?
really normal.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sexy Crabtree.
Yeah.
Really?
There's no one in therapy in that story.
No.
Nope.
Not
Oh,
even
and
a
she-
little
and-
bit.
and she-
Healthy, healthy people.
She was a looker too. I looked at the story.
You're
A liquor?
Looker.
kind
Whatever.
of.
Either
You're a-
way.
She's from Liquor, right?
licking.
Licking County.
My bad.
Licking County.
My bad.
Licking.
I totally got
Amen.
that wrong.
Amen. There's our first drink.
Can I get an amen
By the
in
way,
here?
Katie, our drinking word is amen.
Amen. Brothers and sisters.
So, the rings for the Olympics.
5 of them, right?
There are 5 of them.
5 of them.
Well, only 4 if you're in Russia.
And then one snowflake.
yes, and one
Almost like an
snowflake.
asterisk.
Permanent snowflake.
Yeah. 4 rings, one snowflake.
So right after that happened, the one did not get bigger and do what it was supposed to do. I looked at Mom and said, "That guy's dead," because it's Russia.
Yeah.
You figure that he's real dead. So a story came on, and I burst out laughing because I figured it had to be. I just saw a headline.
Yeah.
And went through and immediately was like, this is not true. But I thought it was funny that that's where we go when it comes to Russia. That, oh, well, now you're dead. You had one job. The man responsible, it says, for operating the Olympic rings during last night's Winter Olympics opening ceremony was found dead today. And they said that he was stabbed some ungodly amount of times.
I like how they explain away the stabbing. I think it's in the story.
Sure, there were stab wounds and bruises all over the body, admits lead investigator, but who knows what caused them. Maybe he tripped and fell on a set of knives. Right now, we're ruling this as an accidental death. That was my favorite. And when I asked you if you had, seen that or whatnot, because
All
sometimes
over.
we'll do fake stories and sometimes real, and you said you had already put that up kind of telling people, knock it off, this isn't true. But how could you read that and not know?
Well, sadly, the first person that I had to smack down was Tim Landis. He posted it and he goes, whatever his comment was, but can you believe this is happening? And I'm like, first of all, it's from the Daily Current.
And we've all learned.
Clue number 1,
Yeah, we've all learned.
the Daily Current or the Onion. Come on, vet your sources here. But I was literally laughing out loud when it's like, well, maybe he fell on a set of knives. But we're ruling this no foul play.
No fair play.
Yeah, we're going to leave that.
But the Daily Current, God bless them, they're the ones that got
They're funny.
Michelle Bachmann, they got
Yes.
Sarah Palin.
Well, they
Yes.
got me because I know the Onion is false, but there was an article a while ago about Sarah Palin and something about the Bible, and I was like,
Yes.
that bitch, and I
Well,
posted it,
because it's
and everyone was
it
like,
could be
you need to
real.
settle down.
Yeah.
But it seems so real, and so I can never remember that the Daily Current is the fake news.
I do too. And you have
So
to
when
read the whole article because you're like, because the tone stays
Yeah.
so, they keep
They're
that
good.
up.
Keep it good.
Well, I thought at this one, I was like, I saw someone post it, I'm like, holy shit. And I was reading it like.
And none of us would
I-
be surprised.
Until I saw fell
Right.
on a set of knives. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, this must be fake news.
But
But
that's
it's
what
it's how long that they keep it up before they get to the giveaway. Like,
yeah. It's
awesome.
good writing in
Yeah,
that
oh,
sense.
it really
it
is.
lures
But-
you in.
Right, no, it totally is.
Well, Aaron read one with the first day of marijuana in Colorado
Mm-hmm.
and Washington. But as far as Colorado, they had a story on here that I don't know, some ungodly amount of deaths, like 100 deaths,
Right, I
or
remember
40
seeing
deaths
that.
or something, right? And she's like, "Can you believe?" And I looked up and I'm like, "Well, that doesn't sound right."
Nobody's died.
No, but I thought, well, no, I can't
No.
believe that. And she kept going, no, it's right here. And I finally I looked at her and said, did you look at CNN? Like,
Yeah.
how come I'm watching CNN and I'm not
Yeah.
seeing this anywhere?
Right.
Right.
There's like, Jim Jones style
The worst-
Mary Jane
The
going
worst thing
on.
that
And
happened in Colorado when they did that was they damn near ran out.
yeah.
Yeah, that's people were going to start
It's like-
killing each other
And then
because
2
they
days
wanted
later,
weed.
they did run out.
Yeah.
So
Right.
make
first
more.
one
Then it was a real story.
Can I get an amen? We're out.
Hey, man.
Come back in a few months. We'll be back in business.
But
Thank you very much.
they will no longer be worrying about if there is one thing about cutting a school program in Colorado, I think they should raise a militia. Because all the money from taxes
Right.
is supposed to go directly into the schools. Just like in Arizona, all the money from the Arizona lottery is supposed to go back into our education system. There should be no cuts in education.
Right.
Right.
If there's a cut in education, then you don't win as much in the lottery. Then guess
Right.
what? When the prize is 64 million, it's only going to be 62 million because we promised this money to kids.
Yeah,
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? Fuck you up the ass. Can I get an amen?
With
Amen.
with
Thank
concrete
you.
and silicone.
Exactly.
Well, totally.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I'm going to inject your ass with a little bit of fun and inflate a tire.
That's what we try to do here on this show.
Fix a flat.
That's what it's called. I was never going to use it, so why
Oh,
would
and
I
then
learn it?
adding to that story, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you all know, and I didn't see it. I only have read about it and heard about it. According to what I heard was that the Russian TV doctored it up so
they did.
that
They
it,
fixed
that
it.
it
That
part's
completely
true.
never happened. Never happened. Nothing to see here.
In Russia, you did not see that happened.
Right.
Everywhere else that you did.
And
yeah.
they were saying they were really with the cuts
That
that,
part's true.
NBC made again. That because NBC's always in trouble for the way they edit because they got rid of the tribute to is it 7/11? What's their bombing? We have 9/11. I think they have either 7/10 or 7/11. I never remember what the date of theirs
I
is.
have no idea.
I would think 7-Eleven would be more
paper
Saudi
or plastic?
Arabia.
What's happening?
Oh,
No.
gotta get an amen.
Thank you.
Might I get you paper or plastic? I do not know.
Thank you very
I
much.
love you. Thank
We'd
you.
like a squishy.
I'll start beep.
All right, that's the end of this going. So, anyways, but whatever it was,
Intentional.
they edited out. That's when they decided to cut to commercial, and everyone was like, if you did that to a 9/11 memorial,
Right.
you would no longer be a network in America.
Right.
So to take one of their biggest tragedies since the World War and do that to it was really kind of a shame.
Yeah.
And then what they got rid of in this year's, and everyone thought they would doctor the O because in Russia they did it, and they did it almost live in Russia because it really was Friday night, not Friday morning to us. Was they got rid of the president of the IOC giving his speech about diversity and
Yes.
inclusion.
Oh, that was
Yes.
fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Well,
he's
a douche nozzle.
Yeah,
Oh,
he-
yeah,
oh my
that's
God.
Bach, right?
Yeah.
He
He's
is a douche nozzle. There's
I think
literally
that's-
no other word.
Yeah.
to
I
describe
really
him.
don't want to say long may he reign because
Yeah, no.
that guy is just a
Yeah.
serious asshole.
Completely agree.
Well, we're going to go to my home state of the lovely Missouri. And
Missouri.
Missouri, for those of us who speak proper English.
Is that European?
A St. Louis
Is it near
man.
Illinois?
I hate that too.
Des Moines.
Thank you. A St. Louis man who has pleaded guilty to mailing cat shit to a local company where he couldn't find work has been sentenced to 2 years of probation. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reports that the 58-year-old man named Javons Brown was sentenced Friday for the misdemeanor offense of mailing injurious articles. The plea agreement says that Brown became frustrated when he had trouble landing a job with the company. He apologized in court and said that he was receiving current counseling. A federal prosecutor and Brown's public defender both said that they agreed with the sentence, and fortunately, Brown has since found a job.
Something in a zoo.
So you find you can't get a job there? I'm going to send cat shit to your company. By God.
That is so wrong.
Suckers.
It is wrong. Last but not least.
Oh, Marn.
Last but not least, and this one is real and quite sickening. This whole Florida thing, the stand your ground,
Ugh,
and
it's all over
whatnot,
CNN today.
It's all over, and I'm not understanding when we got to the point where, you're, and I know it's all over the place, but you're texting, I'm going to show you threw popcorn at me. I'm scared for my life. Bang. Now you're dead.
Yeah.
You turn down the music, and I don't know, cars go by and there's music and it's loud and it's annoying and it's thumping bass, or it's mariachi music, or it's me in Barry Manilow.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever it is.
I blew a speaker on a Barbra Streisand album once. Just saying.
Love
I'm
that.
just saying.
Amen.
Amen.
I love that. But so, and I get that people are like, shut up. And I can't say that I haven't, been in a mood and been sitting there like, oh my God, turn that down, because it's making me a little crazy. But I'm going to make up the fact that I thought I saw a gun and a kid gets out of a car and I'm going to shoot him 9 times.
Yeah. And then they have, why
And
do you have
not
a
report it.
trial? Why do you have a trial
Why?
when there's witnesses?
Well,
And you shot
one of
him.
them's your fiance,
And-
who says none of what he's saying is true.
Right.
Did you see that today?
Yeah. So I'm like,
You guys, I
just
missed on
stop
this.
and put him in jail.
So-
It's all I can do. I turned on CNN today, and
an
they're doing
ass.
gavel to gavel again, which CNN has got to stop
doing it.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
Create another network
But
for
I'm
that.
like, it's called HLN. They already have it.
Yeah,
Nancy Grace
HLN,
rules it. I'm
right.
like, just stop the trial, put this guy in jail, and prove that you white people just can't shoot black people for any reason they think up, and then say they were scared.
Yeah,
I'd
why
stand
are
your
they
ground.
having a trial about it?
Because he's saying that it was stand your ground.
That he was afraid.
He was afraid. He feared for his life. He cried today about a puppy that he had just gotten, and that he ordered. I mean, he supposedly left to get wine or to get something, or that's why they went to the convenience store, something. And instead, he went home or went back to the hotel and was drinking rum and ordered a pizza and didn't call the police till the next day after shooting the kid 9 times. And his fiance is sitting there, and he said that there was a gun, and he told her multiple times, I saw like a gun, or I saw like a post. I mean, basically, like
If you're
he
that
saw
trained-
something, and I saw it. And she's like, he never said that.
Yeah,
He
it's
never
all, It's all
mentioned-
bullshit. And the guy in the
It is.
theater over
I
some
feared
having
my
popcorn thrown at him.
I didn't know what it
And
was. He said I was
and
scared.
texting is annoying. Don't take a gun to a movie theater. Stop. Just stop.
He went out
You
and
don't-
got it.
No, gosh, don't you know though that the come on, guys, this is America, and I want to defend
Amen.
my
Yeah.
life and my fucking freedom to have a gun. So I'm gonna take it into the movie theater, into the fucking bar. I'm gonna shoot you if I fucking want to.
'Cause you
and
irritate
it
me.
is terrifying,
It is.
and I don't even I can't even fathom this, and this is ridiculous that I feel like I'm gonna cry, but
No,
it
go
is,
ahead, I
this
get
is like
it.
fucking ridiculous. Like, I was at the gym the other day and some guy came down the wrong way in the car, and the wrong way in the aisle, and the gym's really skinny little car aisles, and so I'm going the right way and some other guy's coming the wrong way, and I gave him a sideways look because I was annoyed, and then I literally thought, oh my God, Katie, don't do that. You can't look at somebody like that because he might shoot me, and
And then
that's
say-
okay.
And then just say, "Oh, I thought she had a gun."
That's okay.
I feared for my life.
Like, when is that okay? And when does that stop? I
Well,
just, I
I think-
can't.
You have Zimmerman get away with it.
and then get away with everything.
And
And
get away
turning
with
it
it.
into
The
a
guy's
boxing match.
Yes.
They're making money off
Yeah.
of putting him in the boxing ring now. It is
Exactly.
a fucking sideshow. He killed a child,
Yep.
and he is now a money-making sideshow.
and then beats his girlfriend, threatens somebody else with a gun, and the guy gets away with every single thing. He's clearly a psychotic.
Oh, absolutely.
He's clearly a sociopath.
But it is okay. Like, this society, it is
Yeah,
okay
we're giving him a nod.
to take a gun anywhere you want and kill anyone at any fucking time for any reason and get away with it.
Well, and how can you
and
once
it gets worse and worse
it
and
does
worse.
because once you have said, once the courts have said,
This is
you're-
okay.
that yep, we find you not guilty. Okay, for throwing a man through popcorn. And now that whole exchange, was it ridiculous? Was it like, come on, he threw? Why are you throwing popcorn? Why are you doing this? Stop it! Like you're
Yeah.
you're
But
an
it doesn't end
asshat.
in death.
Yell at him.
No, exactly.
Yell
It
at
doesn't-
him.
it- get
Go
up
get a
and move.
manager. Like, get up and move. Call him an
Something.
asshole.
Yeah.
Punch him in the face.
No,
like,
don't punch him in the face because then you can fear for your life.
But I'm saying, what about like a good old fist
Yeah.
fight? Not that I advocate the fist fight, but if you and get into a verbal spar with someone in a movie theater, punch him.
Yeah, but that's what
And
happened in the
guess who
70s and
lives?
80s, and now look at where we've come. And this was, I mean, the when I saw that with Zimmerman, I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. right? And then
And
all
DMX
this-
DMX has now bowed out of that.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, DMX
Okay.
is no longer part of it. It's still on. It's on again, as I understand, but DMX bowed out of that fight.
So now they're gonna have
But it was
Tupac,
kind of
but
funny.
it's a hologram.
But it was kind of funny that DMX said, "I'm gonna just kick
I
the shit out of this guy."
almost,
Right.
I hate the idea that it was happening, but Kelly and I were talking about it and said, I almost hope that he goes through with it and fucking murders
Yeah.
him. And literally, because DMX is not like a wuss. But I
He's
just
not the Will Smith of rappers.
no, yeah. And I almost like I was
Amen.
like I just
Amen.
wish that DMX would. I hate that it's becoming a sideshow, but I just want I'd want a free reason for
To get his
DMX to literally
A free-
murder
a
him
free
with his
shot.
bare hands.
And
Like,
they had Real Time with Bill Maher is back on HBO, and I hope you're watching.
We have a DVR.
Genius. So last week, Stephen Merchant from the original Office and Hello Ladies on HBO, 6'4", tall British comedian, really fucking funny. So he was the last guest that comes out at the end, and they had she was part of she's Canadian. She's a political something from Canada. And so so Bill Maher is saying to him, like, what about our country just strikes foreigners as like, that's just nuts. And he goes, and Stephen Merchant goes, well, your guns. We don't get your guns. And he's like, I'll speak for us. I'll speak for Britain, and she will for Canada. We're not coming back. We left. Like, we got it. You wrote it in your Constitution to bear arms in case, anyone comes to invade you. We were the people that were going to invade you. We're not going to invade you. You can put the guns down. And it was, and I'm not doing it any justice because I'm not Stephen Merchant and I don't have a British accent, but him just saying to Americans, like, don't watch country.
and I just like, where did the NRA, because it's their business, it's the business of just being horrible.
Yeah.
But
right to
it
bear arms
really,
thing.
it's a, what is the
Yeah.
right to bear arms? Like, are you kidding?
no,
In
but
a
I'm just
fucking
saying.
movie theater? Like,
Exactly.
you killed the father of a 3-year-old because he threw popcorn at you? Like,
Yeah.
By the way,
But
we
this is your
do
right
have
to
a
bear
no
arms.
popcorn rule in Studio C.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that.
guns?
'Cause I-
yes.
I have
but
fear- I have
popcorn,
fear for
don't
my
even
life.
think about it.
But the
I
fact
have
that they
fear
went
for my
gavel
life.
to gavel on CNN
Yeah.
over this trial, I'm like, this is not a trial.
No.
Because if this guy, I'm sorry, if this guy, now the popcorn guy, did that already go to trial?
No.
Or they're just still
They
investigating?
were he had a bond hearing and he wasn't allowed bond. He's 71. He's a retired police officer.
and mentally unstable.
Like a SWAT officer. I mean, like, he thought it was a gun. That's why he feared for his life. Popcorn?
Yeah. Oh, you're a
gun.
trained
You're a
SWAT
douche
officer
nozzle.
and a military. You have a military
yeah,
background.
douche nozzle is not the word
Yeah,
you're looking
no,
for.
not at all,
Not
but-
at all.
And I think I've said this here before, but one of the things that it just makes me crazy is that, people say it's not the guns that kill people, it's the mentally unstable, it's the criminals. You're not a criminal
Until
you
shoot
shoot someone
someone.
with a gun. Like, the guy in the movie theater was a police officer. He was not a criminal. He may have been unstable, whatever, but he was not a criminal. That's what it makes me keep the guns out of the hands of criminals. I'm not a criminal until I shoot you
Yeah.
and murder you.
But
Over popcorn.
there's an off-duty police officer that was there, and then we'll wrap it and go to you.
And
But
a
there's
nurse, yeah.
And this off-duty police officer is there with his son, and over, like, sees all this happen, and goes over, and the wife. I was so trying to get a picture of what was happening. The wife's just sitting there, and she looks up and she goes, "Now that was no reason to kill somebody."
yeah.
And he looks over, according to the testimony, the deputy person says that he looked over and he goes, "You shut your fucking mouth and don't say another word."
Yeah. that's
To
what
his
he's-
wife. That's what the 71-year-old I shot because
But
I
he
feared
also
my life
shot,
over
and what
popcorn.
he'll probably get in trouble for is not killing the man with the popcorn. He's probably going to
The
get in
wife.
trouble
Because he
because
shot the wife.
he shot the wife
Yeah.
through the hand
Yeah.
as she was trying to protect her husband. Like, she threw herself kind of in front of the bullet.
Right.
That's what he's going to get in trouble for. It's going to be like assault with a deadly weapon,
Because he
not
was
murder.
standing his ground.
With that one, but the wife was no threat and he shot her. So it's not the murder that you're going to get in trouble for. It's the accidentally killing the...
It is so scary.
The mother of
It
your
is
children.
like scary.
But again, when you
And
get away with those things, then it just builds to where the next thing in the courts, in the eyes of the court, aren't as ridiculous. Seriously, it's fucking popcorn.
And people just
It's
say
Orville
like,
goddamn
when is
Redenbacher.
what happened?
Well, I
And
don't
when
get
is it
it.
going to change? And I say the same thing. And I don't know.
It absolutely won't. It doesn't matter. Like
It can't
you
at
can
this point,
you
so it's
can
already-
you can walk into a grade school and kill all the children, and then the Republicans are like, out of my cold dead hand.
I
Like
fucking hate the NRA.
That's why-
And when I see the stickers on the back of their cars, and
I wanna
I'm
crack-
feeling
Makes
like
your blood boil.
emotional and impassioned. But like every time I see these stories, I think about Palmer and like this child that I'm bringing up in this society. And I have to say, don't look at this person, and you can't do this, and don't do this, because you could be murdered at any time for any reason, and it's okay.
and they'll always blame the victim. And
And-
blaming the victim is the new thing
I
to
just-
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the,
well,
the
and,
kid that
and
got
make
shot,
sure that the teachers all have guns and all have
Even
this.
Jeff
and,
Flake, even conservative Arizona Senator Jeff Flake was on the news the other night saying, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that this is the solution for,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this, but he was asked about guns and about teachers because Arizona state legislatures are again proposing that we should have certain teachers in the schools have guns.
Bet you
And
they're
I
white
tell
men.
you,
I bet you the teachers that
and
have
even
guns
Jeff
are going to be
Flake,
white men.
who's a conservative, said that's a bad idea. I have children in school, and I don't feel comfortable with my children's. And can I tell you, when I was a 7th grader, how many times I fucking mouthed off to a teacher? I was a little shit, and I was mouthy, and I was I was smart, and
I'm enjoying that tremendously.
Shocking.
I know.
I'm
But
just
you-
finding this
Well,
out.
It was
you
actually
are
only
finding
the
that
1 year.
exactly where it's going is that
Yeah.
a kid's going to get kind
Mouth off
get
and a
all
teacher
puffy,
will shoot them.
Yeah.
A 16-year-old football
a
kid.
teacher, and it will happen.
Yeah.
It
The way
will
kids are so
happen.
much bigger now, it's going to be a 16-year-old football player who puffs up a little bit and gets a little
And a
mouthy with the
teacher's gonna
teacher,
feel
shoot
threatened.
him and just shoots him. Oh, he might have a gun.
And can
Well,
you
I thought he
imagine
did.
your child is killed by a teacher at school? Because it will happen.
It will. It's coming.
Sure.
There's that. 8:34. It's the show. Our drinking word is amen.
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 Have a beverage, and at this time, we're going to turn everything over to Al Perkins.
Entertainment!
The Walking Dead is back.
Amen.
Good one.
All kinds of shows are canceled. Leonardo gets his 5th Oscar nomination. The Good Ship Lollipops hits an iceberg. Hugh Jackman returns to the Tonys. A movie review, a treat for the Oscars. And there's a scandal going on in the news right now that's just grotesque.
Amazing.
Grotesque.
And entertainment.
You go ahead.
In entertainment. So, fill me up with some wine.
I'm
honey.
intrigued because I don't know what this is. The grotesque.
I think I know, but
Yeah, it's gotten out of hand.
it's silly.
So, well, we'll start with The Walking Dead, and we'll kill some time
Yes.
there. The Walking Dead came back kicking and screaming.
Did it ever?
With one of the best episodes that has ever been on that show.
Ooh, I didn't get to watch it until this morning, but because I hadn't gotten a chance yesterday, and I woke up this morning, and my alarm went off at 5:30, and I could have either gone to yoga or had a complete solid hour by myself to watch The Walking Dead. So what did I do?
It's a good choice.
I stayed at home on
The
the couch
Walking
and
Dead,
drank
and it was
coffee.
a brilliant episode. And I have to say, and I posted it immediately. 2 minutes in, I'm like, I wanted Rick to just take his.
Oh, I saw that, but
I wanted
was
Carl
like,
to
oh.
just pick up his gun and shoot Rick, because Rick's an asshole and Carl is just the best.
He really is great. But I thought
What a great actor. And I wanted to put on there, just write him a little note saying, "Dear Chandler Riggs, please avoid heroin and anything that smells like a Kardashian, and maybe don't ever get a
great
Twitter
career."
account, because what a great actor."
he is so good, and I just like two really, really influential characters in this in the show that we finally got to see so much more of. Michonne and Carl, and I just like Carl's almost his full 180, really a full 180 from the beginning of the show to
Yeah, to
the
a little
end.
boy to like.
I just
It was devastating. It was a devastating episode, and I actually cried as he was sitting there saying, "I can't do it. I can't do it. Just take it.
And
I can't
I
do it."
really didn't know whether or not he was turned.
I
was
didn't
really
either.
like, I don't know
Oh.
where this is going. But what I thought was really great is that the premiere of The Walking Dead surpassed by, and I don't know what the specifics are, but by like leaps and bounds, the Olympics. People were just fleeing from the Olympics to watch The Walking Dead. It was
because the ratings for The Walking Dead just get bigger and bigger
How does
and
that
bigger.
happen? Most shows they peak. This is like not.
Yeah, but we're
it's just
still
not
early.
going
We're only
anywhere.
at what season? This is middle of season 4, and it's that guy that I always say if he rates an episode, you just show up.
Greg
and-
Nicotero.
Yes, and
So
it was
good.
brilliant. That was just brilliant writing. So it's
Good
back,
TV.
and they only have 7 more episodes. But if they're on that caliber, then I think we're all. In
I was
good
ready
hands.
to. I needed to binge watch. Like as soon as it was over, I felt like I was doing some Walking Dead heroin because I was like, I need more.
What else? What else can I watch? Shirley Temple Black, who had a very long career in many, many different things. She was a child star who was a singer, dancer, actress. Big draw in the 30s during the Depression. Absolutely flopped as an adult actress, and then became an ambassador to, and I can never remember where.
It was Czechoslovakia.
Oh, she was the ambassador to Czechoslovakia, she was chief of protocol and ambassador. So that was the fun thing. Have you ever seen Goldie Hawn in the movie Protocol? That was her
Oh,
thing.
that's right.
Was to
Oh my
introduce
God, I haven't thought of
Czechoslovakian.
that movie in forever. God, that was fun.
It was kind of the how they influenced for that movie. That's what made Goldie Hawn want to do that. That's what that screenplay was inspired by, was finding out what the hell
What is it? Yeah.
it's so you know the manners and all that stuff.
Sure.
So I mean, I was not a fan of hers. I don't know why my parents weren't into it, so I never watched it. But I've seen a lot of them, especially Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, and she was supposed to be her big almost break that wasn't a break. Was that she was supposed to be Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
Yes, and it was actually bought for her to star in, and then everything fell apart, and they changed studios, and Judy Garland was brought in, even though she was too old and too fat,
Wow.
and like 6 years, and she is almost
Because
18.
they wanted her to be much younger.
Yeah, well, she's supposed to be 12. Oh. And Judy Garland was 18 or 19 when she
Yeah.
made the movie, so she was far too old to play the role.
Well, and it took 3 years to produce it, so she even aged over
the
Yeah.
time they
over
did
the
it.
production.
So the right age was Shirley Temple, and that's who they bought the rights for, and everything was in place. Although it's not the first making of that movie.
So I looked up online. This is the, according to what I found online, the original recipe for a Shirley Temple beverage, which was made for Shirley
Yes.
Temple in the late 30s because she was hanging out with all the big wigs and everything from studios. So she wanted something to drink. So a bartender made her a mixture of ginger ale, like 7-Up, a splash of grenadine, and a maraschino cherry. So
In memoriam.
in memoriam
So is
to
this ginger ale or is it 7-Up?
It's a mixture
Little
of
of
both.
Oh, okay.
Mixture of both and a splash of grenadine and a maraschino. Just what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's all the,
I thought you said ginger ale or 7-Up.
Amen.
That's
no,
right.
according to it's a mixture of both. It's supposed to be half and half, and there you go. So
I
there's
love
a
it.
Shirley
There we go.
Temple
Here's
Black.
Shirley
Shirley, so
Temple.
she-
And you know what? And I, for some reason, I expected her to be older, and I actually think
thought she was
85
dead.
is younger. I think it's. I mean,
I thought she was I thought she was older too. She was the same age as my dad, which was really shocking to me.
oh,
Which is why I was figuring maybe he didn't know her movies because he was 6 and she was 6 and he wasn't just going to the movies yet.
well, and he was also in love with Elizabeth Taylor.
Well, no, that's a little bit later. But it was the Depression, so maybe they actually didn't go to movies till he was older. Like I was like, if they're the same age, how was I subjected to all these Mickey Rooney movies, but I never saw.
Shirley Temple.
There was
Yeah.
a cute quote. I stopped believing in Santa Claus. She said when I was 6, Mother took me to see him in a department store, and he asked me for my autograph. I thought that was really cute.
Oh, I forgot about that quote. That
I
is a
thought
funny
that was
one.
real cute.
I have coming back. I have a little story about Shirley Temple's. When I was obviously much younger, and Jesus, I can't even tell you the age. We'll see, 80. So I would have been like 10, 11.
Yeah.
I had met a girl that I was stupidly infatuated with, and she lived on.
And you grudge fucked her against the stump.
Let's really
I swear to God, that's exactly
okay. Let's just calm
Settle down.
calm down. Amen. No, her name was Stephanie, and she lived over in the area where the country club was. And
Was this who you're still
we
friends
had
with?
moved. I'm still friends with her. Yeah. She actually moved to, I believe, to New York, and she ballerina. Anyway, we used to meet at the country club. And there was nobody there in the daytime, so we would go into the bar and we would order Shirley Temples, and I would play. Remember the song "Music Box Dancer"? I would play that on the jukebox, and we thought we were so adult to play that on the jukebox and drink Shirley Temples and just sit and chat, and then I would go home.
That's really cute.
Our
That's
first affair.
So
I like
cute.
it. That's adorable.
The Briar Break.
Frank
Hunt.
Mills.
Totes adorable.
Frank Mills, music
is-
box dancer. Yes,
That is totes
Yeah.
adorable.
Dun 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 dun. Yeah, that was it.
I
He's
love
going to
it.
perform the rest of the song, ladies
I
and
will.
gentlemen. Welcome to radio.
Amen.
Welcome to radio. You can't get out.
Well, he lived in one.
yeah.
Fuck
No.
all of you. Read your stories. Jesus Christ.
So
Well.
Hugh Jackman is set to host the Tony Awards, where Neil Patrick Harris hopes to win a Tony Award.
Why are we flip flopping with them? Didn't
Well, Neil Patrick Harris returns.
Neil Patrick likes it that way.
Actually, he doesn't make
Amen.
Amen. He doesn't make a return to Broadway. He has his triumphant debut on Broadway in Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which I am going to see.
Oh,
so I'll tell you all
think
about it.
Oh, I think that would be fantastic.
So there is every expectation that he will be nominated for and win the award. It's a great
Fantastic.
role, and the posters look great, and I can't wait to see it, and I will report back and tell you all about it. So I
That's
won't be
very
here April
cool.
15th because I'll be there.
I like it.
So there you go. So Hugh Jackman will be hosting this year. It looks great. There's a lot of good stuff coming. There's a new show with Idina Menzel coming called If Then.
I'm in.
Sutton
I'm already
Foster has a new show called Violet. What's that? Oh, I like him too, and I can't think of his name. There's a revival of Mice and Men coming with
Franco?
127 Days, James Franco. Yep. Idina Menzel is coming to the Oscars. It's been confirmed that she will be singing "Let It Go" live at the Oscars.
Which I just downloaded 2 days ago, and Palmer and I can't stop singing it.
Yeah, they just
All of the songs.
the 31st of January they did the sing along all over the country, and they made even more money off the movie Frozen. And then they just did a live concert of Frozen somewhere in Los Angeles that was like sold out in like half a second. Wow. And it was such a hit that the producers, because they have a choice, because Demi Lovato that yes
Chris O'Dowd.
Chris O'Dowd. Demi
Demi
Lovato
Lovato's original.
sings she does it over the end credits, but it's Idina Menzel in the movie. So there was a choice of which one they would go for on the
Idina, duh.
Oh yeah, the producers decided that we're gonna go with the one that not that Lovato.
Demi's really, really great, but everyone knows the movie version, and it's better.
Well, it's in the movie. The Demi Lovato is
Right.
the closing credits. So
But I mean the
the
in
actual
the movie
version.
version.
Right. So that's about it for that. I'm trying to find the story that I had a second ago. Death Watch. There it is. So we have a little Death Watch for TV. So if there's shows that you're watching on TV that you're wondering whether or not they're going to be renewed,
But a different Death Watch. It's for shows, not for people.
TV Death Watch.
pretty much if you're a fan of NBC's comedy block on Thursday nights, you are the only one because they've canceled everything.
I hate that.
All of them.
They did.
Yeah, what's everything?
Community will not be coming back, although
What?
they got
That's okay.
5 seasons out of it, and it's been I begged you all 2 years ago to watch it. You never watched it, so it's gone. So
My
we
bad.
took it away. So really funny in their head. They brought back the original, the creator. They got their 5th season, but that show's pretty much over. They haven't officially announced it, but it's pretty much
They've
a done
moved it
deal.
around too, haven't they? Done
No,
some-
it's always been on
Thursday.
Thursdays. They just move
kidding.
it half an hour by half an hour. Sean Saved the World got officially canceled
Yeah, that was
I hate that.
last week, and the show had just started to get
Yeah.
funny.
It was. I always thought it was
yeah.
good from day one. I thought it
Me
was
too.
good.
Yeah.
I
I
loved
was
Linda
more like
Lavin.
day 3. Yeah,
Yeah,
Linda
no,
Lavin was
I
I
very
loved
good.
her.
Yeah.
I loved the smart Megan Hilty.
I love-
all of it was good, and even the boss. Just the timing of all of it. I
Yeah.
really liked
Yeah.
how they played off each other.
And the other guy that was in it, the
black guy that
black
was
guy,
funny.
funny.
Very funny guy.
Yeah.
And he was on the show that had Dakota Johnson last year, Ben and Kate, about the brother
Oh,
and
that was
sister.
actually a cute
he
little
was,
show.
He was like the second character on that show, so
Okay.
he's kind of a jinx.
Well, and it's unfortunate because I disagree with you guys. I watched the show. I didn't think it was great. I could take it or leave it. I only watched it because I liked Sean Hayes
Yeah,
and Megan Hilty, but I really could care less.
Okay.
It's just like one more thing I don't have to think about.
And I did a little marathon of it around Thanksgiving, and I really did. I came to like it. Like,
Yeah.
but I was a few episodes in
took
before
a
they
while,
gelled.
yeah.
The Michael J. Fox show, which NBC made a big deal about this.
Mm-hmm.
They brought it in. They ordered a full season without a pilot. They guaranteed him a season, and this was not supposed to be anything that was supposed to be on the fence or anything they could axe. Oh, they axed it. They were like, we bought them, we paid for them, we'll take those.
Here's your
those
money.
last
We'll
9
take the hit.
shows. We don't think we're going to air them. So they honestly don't think they're going to finish out that season.
They're not even going to finish showing it.
No, Sean Saves the World. They had ordered 3 more shows. They got their 13, and then they didn't give them a back 8. They usually give them a back 8 or a back 9. They didn't give them a back 9. They said make 3 more, and we'll get back to you, because they knew they had to make it to the Olympics. They were never going to
Fill the space
Right,
before.
they knew they had to fill after Christmas till the second week of February.
Yeah.
So they were just telling everybody, like, just fuck around here, because everything goes by the wayside. Like, the whole thing changes. We do all new people, and they are promoting all new shows. One of them with Gillian Anderson that looks really good. So she'll be on 2 NBC shows at the same time. So that's NBC. As far as CBS goes, CBS, the crap network that somehow has hits everywhere. Everything's coming back. Mike and Molly will probably come back. Mom, which I love, will probably come back. The Millers, the crazy ones with Robin Williams. It's a terrible show.
Oh, it's horrible.
But it's a really strong performer. Like, the ratings are good for all these shows. The one that's a question mark is 2.5 Men, because it's so expensive that they don't know if they can pay people $11 million for a show that's kind of on the fence. Like, those people make so much money. It's insane how much they're paying them to be on that show. Fox, Raising Hope is probably going to be gone. There's a really kind of funny show called Enlisted that's on there.
A friend of my friend Jay Ettinger
started, right?
is really good friends with the gentleman who is the star of that show. The one
the
who
cute
comes
guy.
back, the cute guy.
Oh, the
Yeah,
one that
they're
comes
real
back.
close friends. So Jay had put something on his Facebook, hey, give this, because he was also in at least 1, if not 2 episodes of Bones.
yeah, he
And-
looks very familiar.
Yeah, and so Jay had put that on last year, 2 years ago, whenever that was. And so I watched that, and he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah, it's a kind of a
And
funny show.
This Enlisted, it's cute.
I didn't. I
wanna
guess
shit
I've
out a
seen the
half an
commercials,
hour.
but yeah, I love that. I love to go on demand, and the Fox has really great sitcoms, like just half an hour, like little shows while I'm working in the day, and
Right.
But the big news there is X Factor
Gone.
X'd out.
entirely.
Good.
Yeah, just canceled. They said no more money. The Mindy Project is up in the air, but
Oh God, she's so funny.
it is. It's such a funny show. But New Girl will definitely be back. Brooklyn Nine-Nine will definitely be back.
which is also so great. I'm so glad you had me start watching it.
Yeah, really cute. And then on ABC, the one that I always care about on ABC is The Middle, because I love that show. I think it's so much fun. And The Middle will definitely be back because that's had its best year ever. Super Fun Night, Suburgatory, not coming
Oh, Super
back.
Fun Night is done.
Yeah, but they said she'll come back in something else. Like this
She's
just
but
wasn't
great.
the right.
You felt that was like a go to cable
Yeah.
kind of thing. It was
Let her
like
go.
she
like
was too much.
She needed to be dirty,
Yeah.
and there was just something missing from that show. It's. I
Oh,
mean, it's still
thought
on.
it was great.
That Betrayal show got canceled, but everything else is pretty much. That's good, and I love it for Nashville. They say considered a DVR hit. Yep, that's a thing now. It'll come back, and the reason that they learned that was from Sleepy Hollow, which will definitely be back because Sleepy Hollow is the show that I love with that cutie Tom Meissen, and that gets good ratings on the day it's on, and then it's 3 days ratings afterwards for people that DVR it is huge, and then 7 days later the show has doubled.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't even know what to do with this. It's a show about Ichabod Crane living in one outfit 200 years later, talking about George Washington's Bible, and for some reason
People love it.
it's a hit. And like Fox is like, we don't know either.
We're not sure what's
Like
happening.
it's only a 13 episode series. It's going to be almost a full year before it comes back again. And Fox is like, but clearly we can put this on against anything and people will watch it.
I think it's so interesting now because you can chart. They have such a easier way to chart what people watch now because of all these digital boxes in our house that
Yeah,
reports
it's
back to
amazing.
Big Brother and tells us exactly when we're watching, what
Yeah.
we're watching. I love the fact that to me, it's almost like a godsend for these people because, again, like you said, the 7-day ratings are astronomical. The day it airs, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
But it gives life to shows that otherwise, so they don't hit huge with Nielsen on the night they air, but we're going to keep it on because
Right.
in 6 days,
People
7
are
days,
watching it.
they're going to watch the shit out of this.
And even if you fast forward through everything, they have all the commercial things everywhere. And if by God you're unfortunate enough to watch things on demand, you have to watch
can't
the commercials.
fast forward.
Right.
You are forced by God and nature to watch those commercials. And
That
if you
pays
watch,
for the on-demand.
Oh, and I learned.
I watch a lot of on demand, and it annoys me. And,
It annoys
and
you.
it tells you at the beginning, fast forward, not available. And I'm like, damn it.
But they
Yeah.
only give you like 3 minutes. It's enough time to go pee.
Right.
Like, it's enough time to
It's
get something
not
done
like
and come back.
7 minutes of commercial.
The funny thing is I had to watch the first day of the figure skating online. That's where I found the first day of team competition. Oh, online, they are monsters because they make you watch the same commercial over and over and over
Oh, I
again.
hate
so I
that.
thought I'd gotten away with it, but I watched, like, you have to sit through the warm-ups and you have to sit through, because it was literally live. It was, they just put a camera down, they had the British announcers, and they just went.
Yeah.
There was no cutting away to some other thing like, oh no, you signed up for figure skating, you're staying here till it ends.
Sure.
And I thought I had found a way through the commercials. Well, I had lost the ability to make it go full screen. I lost the ability to fast forward and rewind. And you know why? Because I had to watch the 20 minutes of commercials I had missed. They punished me.
Oh.
And they just kept winding up the Visa commercials. And the BMW commercials. And I was like, how? And then as soon as I had watched, and I was like, well, that's about how much commercial I thought I had skipped. Oh, then all of a sudden all my features were back. And please enjoy it. You're going to watch that.
But you're going to watch this, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And you'll like it.
it just turned into like so many different things. So the Producers Guild has a big thing about Oscar nominations and who gets nominated for Best Picture as far as the producer goes. When Leonardo DiCaprio won his Golden Globe, he made a big thing about this was his movie, that he begged Martin Scorsese. He hired everyone to come on. And it was a very strange speech, and there was a little bit of buzz as to, like, is he trying to get, like, full producer credit instead of just, like, his production company bought this? And it turns out, yes. When they announced the Best Picture nominees, and for The Wolf of Wall Street, it came out as producers to be determined, and it turns out that Leonardo was, and Martin Scorsese was campaigning on his behalf, and they put in that he did his share of producing credits. So Leonardo DiCaprio officially has his 5th Oscar nomination for Best Picture now.
Wow.
There you go.
And he got it for Wolf of Wall Street. They didn't stick to they didn't eliminate anyone. There are actually 4 producers, so that's a big deal. So my Leo has a chance to lose twice at the same awards they were nominated. I'm very sad. Monument Men, I saw it at the movies today. Don't see it at the movies. There's no reason. Go watch it. Wait till it comes on cable, and then
Really?
just enjoy the shit out of it. It's a really fun
It
movie.
seems cool.
It was perfectly fine. It was fun. It was a little story about the Nazis and kind of beating the Russians. The Russians had to be the bad guy at the end, which in a little bit they were. But it's a really fun movie. Maybe wait for cable or somewhere else. I don't think you need to spend like $30 as a family or $60 for 3 kids to go see this movie. But it was pretty good. I liked it. Or if you're forced to go on a date, go see that because you can talk through it. But there was some interesting stuff to it because I've been to like the sites of World War I in Paris, and I've been to in France, and I've been to Paris, and you realize like, oh, they bombed the shit out of this area. But Hitler was such a freak about getting the artwork. He wanted Paris intact. He wanted Paris as part of his kingdom, and he wanted Paris looking like Paris. And it never occurred to me they never bombed Paris. They just rolled in and Paris laid down. The French just said, yeah, it's yours, and walked away. Vive la resistance. But it never occurred to me that while they were doing the Blitzkrieg on London and they pretty much destroyed Warsaw, they really did get the French and the people in Bruges and a couple of the really like beautiful cities and left them intact. Like they destroyed Milan, they did all these different things, but when it came to Paris, Hitler wanted Paris for his own. Like he did not want that hurt. And it was very strange that it never occurred to me. Like
I never thought of it like that either.
yeah, so that was an interesting thing. And then the last thing is I used to have such respect for Mia Farrow, and Ronan, her son, is one of the smartest people. We've already gone over his creds.
Right.
Like he is a legitimate smart kid, smart man. Was just on Real Time with Bill Maher the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, if he brings up this whole family scandal, I'm going to lose my mind. And it took me 2 weeks to get the courage up to watch Overtime. And perhaps there is some truth to the rumor of the daughter. Perhaps there is something else going on. Guess what? The New York Times and Twitter are not where you carry on your family drama.
Right.
Embarrassing.
It's embarrassing for everyone, and it's not a badge of courage that she's coming out and telling her story. No, you're just kind of bashing your dad. And it's it's been investigated. There's some people say that it was a crime that could have been that there were actual crimes there, but they didn't want to put the children through the trial, and everyone made that decision to not prosecute. So fine, then don't prosecute. Like, Mia, you made that decision for your children. You can't try him now in public opinion all these years later. And you can't decide now that because he got like an award, like he doesn't show up at the award shows. You're not hurting anyone. He has never gone to an award show. And as one paper
This isn't new, right?
Right. He's a shut-in. Like, the man is a recluse. Like, what public damage are you going to do? Your son is trying to make something for himself on MSNBC. He's got these really great credentials. He's very scholarly, and you're making him into a Kardashian. Like, put the Twitter account down, all of you.
And I hear a lot of people blaming a lot of this on Mia, which is kind of what you're saying. I hear maybe what you're saying is like, but I've seen a lot of people blaming this on her, that she's so angry with Woody still, and just like she's like sicking her kids on, and the other son, one of the other adopted sons,
Moses says it
came
never
out
happened.
and said that, and said this is her poisoning.
Right.
She's done it. She's tried to do it to me, and she's doing it to all of her children, poisoning us against. And I've seen that happen like real time in some families that I may or may not be a part of, where there's a family member that tries to poison against another family member, and it works.
Yeah, and if you're little, you don't know.
You don't know the
And the
difference.
other thing is it was investigated, and you all decided to let it go.
Right. So you have to be done.
So you have to be
Right.
done.
You made that decision.
And if you're not done, then go see a therapist, go seek counseling, maybe find an appropriate place to get your story out, or maybe go somewhere and help children who've been abused and tell them and listen to their stories. Your story was told.
Right.
You got all the press you wanted. If press was what you wanted, 1992 through 1994, there was no other fucking story. You know what I mean? There was either Tanya Harding or Mia Farrow. Who do you want to listen? You know what I mean? Or Woody Allen. I'm not trying to say one's a bad guy. She's not a bad person. No one's a bad person until you just turn it into a Twitter during the Golden Globes. He's not coming.
Right.
So,
And then for the girl who may have been abused, I don't know. She says she
and
has.
it's really horrible, but also Twitter's not the place to deal with
Right.
that.
And
so 3 weeks ago, when all of that was just kind of coming out, and Diane Keaton gets up there and sings to Woody, and what does everybody think? And then it kind of blows up. And I could be absolutely mistaken, but I thought everybody was like kind of anti Woody Allen at that point.
I thought it was weird. I don't know the story from the
Or
90s.
was it that you read something and
I had never heard this story about Dylan. I had never heard the
Okay,
story
that-
about the
because I
girl
was
saying
sitting
she was
here
molested.
thinking,
Yes,
wait a
and
minute,
no.
okay.
I brought it up, and I agree
you,
that it
okay.
was like that.
Okay.
It was weird. Why are we like honoring? I don't know Woody Allen. I don't know his movies. But I thought it's weird that we're honoring this guy,
Right.
the child molestation. But I'm totally on board at this point. Be done with your Twitter war.
And
Okay.
he's made like 25 movies since, and has already won like 2 Oscars since then. What are you doing? And why Twitter? But I really feel bad because
Very
Ronan
Kardashian of them.
and Ronan was on Real Time with Bill Maher and trying to be very serious. He has a new show on MSNBC, which we'll talk about the show on MSNBC in a minute.
Okay, coming back at the beginning of hour 3, we're still in the middle of our drinking game, which is
Amen.
Man.
Coming up, Al's going to wrap up his entertainment segment. Then we're going to go to Katie with sports and other stuff. If you want to join us in the chat room, let us know what you want us to talk about. We'll do that too. Thoughtful vulgarity and much more coming up right now on Q Talk America.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening once again. It's 9 o'clock. You are listening to the show on Q Talk America. We are coming to you live from Studio C. It's Katie, Marnie, Al, and myself. I'm Clayton McKee. Thank you for being with us. We were just in the middle of Al's entertainment segment, and he was going to talk about a new show or something that was on MSNBC on the tail end of this Woody Allen bullshit.
Right.
Go ahead.
So Ronan, who a 15-year-old graduate from college, and then he graduated from Bard College at Simon's Rock when he was 15, and he graduated in 2009 at 22 from Harvard. law school. From Yale Law School, and he is a member of the New York Bar. I mean, very young. This kid's 26 years old, 27 years old, and he's already like passed the bar exam. He's already been part of the Obama administration.
Is this Sinatra's kid?
And then all of a sudden, it turned into like this sleazy. Are we just trying to get like? What is the point of this very accomplished young man?
That's what I was just like.
Very
Who seems
smart,
above all of this
above
bullshit?
the fray. He's going
Right.
on TV shows appealing for aid for like the war-torn African countries. He's a UNICEF Goodwill ambassador. He's works for the Genocide Intervention Network.
These are all big time.
Oh
Right.
yeah, and he's constantly trying to advocate for the people of Darfur and getting American intervention into Darfur. And I really was surprised that Mia Farrow would, at any point in her life, now that she works for UNICEF, she does very good work. She's a great humanitarian. Like, why all of a sudden she would drag his name through the mud and try to say, and like all of a sudden bring up her affair with Frank Sinatra? Like, why at this point in your life would you bring someone dead into the picture? And your son is trying to get somewhere, and your name is really not that well known. Like, Ronan
anymore.
Farrow doesn't bring up anything.
No.
He doesn't look like Woody. He looks a little bit like you. Let him just be himself and be this very accomplished young man who's making something of himself. But now we have this sleazy scandal with Frank Sinatra that we all had to read, and then you're like, well, he does look like Frank Sinatra.
A lot.
And then all of a sudden through the Golden Globes, Woody doesn't show up to anything. There's no point
Right.
to this. And then
Well, you didn't know his name, but now you do. And so maybe that's...
wait, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I've known...
And not in a super positive way, but maybe that's a part of the plan.
Right.
To get it
so
out
now
there?
you're going
I
to know
don't
him
know.
sleazy instead of like, and I've always known him as this smart kid that appears on all kinds of talk shows that I watch, always talking about Darfur, always talking about humanitarian aid. And I was like, this is a smart fucking kid. And I thought, how classy to stay above the fray and stay out of the whatever is going on. And then to have, I don't know, to get dragged through, and whoever's doing the dragging, whoever's doing the kicking, but you're going after a shut-in. Like,
Yeah.
He didn't even, like, the reply letter to the New York Times was written by his lawyer because he won't write a letter to the New York Times. Like, he appears at basketball games. That's it. And then to start, like, all of a sudden criticizing Diane Keaton for her
The whole
involvement
thing
with
is
him
very
and, like,
messy.
It's
yeah,
you're
should
right.
be
It's very
private.
weird.
Well,
very
should
weird.
be a
what
private
what
thing.
Kate Blanchett should say, should she win the Oscar, which everyone's assuming that she
will, and
that she should be said. What should she say about or to Woody Allen and etc.
Not a goddamn thing.
There's
yeah,
a big
and it's,
thing about
and
that.
there really is nothing, because what does it have to do with
Her.
I don't get it. So at one point, and I didn't know what you were talking about when you brought it up a couple of weeks ago, because I was like, I forgot there was 3 kids. Honest to God, I thought there was only the one. I forgot that they had adopted.
The other guy, Moses.
They adopted Moses and Dylan, and then Ronan is supposedly their biological child, and now that may not be it either.
Yeah.
But very interesting. So if you want more on the whole crazy part, because I don't remember the craziness from back then, but like the Valentines with all the knives and stuff like that. But Doug,
so weird.
Yeah, but Doug Wilkie, he followed it really closely because he
The
was a
Wilk.
much bigger fan of Woody Allen back then than I was. I was just getting on the Woody Allen train. I was more a video killed the radio star kind of human.
There's nothing about Ronan Farrow that looks like Woody Allen.
Right. So there was never any reason.
Like that. Like I just kind of keep going back and forth comparing pictures because sometimes maybe it's just the cheeks or
The
maybe
similarity
it's
is they both have 2 eyes and 2 nostrils.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about it.
That's
Homo
it.
sapien is where it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. A
just,
white
because
male.
It's a little startling how unlike they
yeah.
look.
By the way, do we know can Ronan sing? I mean,
Right, that's the next question.
if he comes out
I
and
mean, he looks
Does
just
he
like Frank Sinatra.
Does he like rats? The Rat Pack. That's all.
I mean, he has the same Frank Sinatra nose.
yes,
huh?
Oh yeah, I mean
His
it only
eyes.
The whole blue
it
eyes
takes
thing?
you like a half a second. Well, she has beautiful blue eyes too, Mia.
No, but just looking at it and you put the 2 of them together, I agree with
The
you.
li-
Right.
I mean, they are very similar looking.
yeah.
And it just shows you that you can be wealthy, accomplished, all these things. Mia Farrow is a great actress, a wonderful person, great humanitarian, the Angelina Jolie of her day, trendsetter.
Yeah, really.
And then you can still get mired down in a really shitty separation. Like,
I say let him come out and sing "Fly Me to the Moon" and boom, we're done.
boom, or yeah.
Boom goes the dynamite.
And
We're all
then
done.
yeah, and then let just deal with your stuff Like,
Right.
I think there's a time to handle your shit
I agree.
privately. I don't know.
Speaking of stuff,
And
that's
I'm done. That's
speaking,
it.
well, I'm going to throw one other thing in there, and I realize this is only topical because it's Olympic related. Speaking of things that should be done in private, what the fuck is going on with Bruce Jenner?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Have
my
you
God.
seen? And I don't want to bring the Kardashian world into it, but he is a former Olympic star, and all of a sudden, wow,
girl.
Yeah.
what in the hell is going on
Oh,
with
and
him?
He's
Have
got
you
like
seen
a
him?
bob, and he's got like his
So,
hair back. And
they-
He had the Adam's apple shave done.
Yeah, they're saying, in the tabloids that he's going through a sex change operation, which
Well,
seems a little sensationalized.
Well, it does, but I mean,
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
But-
if you shave the Adam's apple, that's all you're doing.
what
he's never liked it. He claims, but
his sons,
the hair is the killer.
his sons were
like
quoted.
right here.
I need to Google.
His sons were quoted as somehow as saying he is going through an identity crisis.
do you think?
But someone else said it was because his wife, Chris, encouraged the plastic surgery for years that he became addicted. And Chris kept saying, nip here, tuck here.
Wow.
But here's the thing, you can tell that he's gotten the really bad plug job.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, because he's
Bad.
got the straight across the forehead, really bright red, brand new hairline.
Right.
His hands and fingers are very delicate, and he's got growing out nails, and he's wearing like jewelry.
What? Yeah, it adds to the what the fuck
He
are you
wants
doing?
a skinnier nose, which I feel like if he shaves
Little
any more of his
Michael
nose, it
Jackson
will
thing
literally
going
be gone.
Yeah, he does.
He shaved the Adam's apple. Someone said, "Oh, he's getting breasts," which I just think means he's kind of
know.
becoming an old man.
I think he's just getting older.
Yeah.
Right, in regards to,
yeah,
regards to
I
that.
don't think he's like actually trying to have breasts, but the hair is bad. He's just looking weird.
Well, the kicker to me was, and I'm like, are we sure he's not gay? Because my God, they showed a picture, and I'm scrolling back through
Oh, I
my
don't
my
know that I think
Facebook.
gay.
Well, no, but my Facebook, somebody posted a picture earlier today of him in probably '76, where he's walking with. There's a female celebrity he's walking next to, but you're like, holy cow! What are he? Totally looks gay as Christmas, or
Who is
like
it?
he's a
Renee
woman.
Richards?
I love Gay as Christmas. That's fantastic.
Gayer than Christmas.
He's walking in really short cut like Daisy Dukes, and he's walking in a midriff shirt. He has a great tummy. Like he's in
Tummy.
in fantastic.
Whenever you say tummy, it's a sex change operation.
no, but,
If he's got a tummy, he's had a sex change operation.
That was in '76, though. I'm talking about this black and white
I don't
picture.
care when you tell someone they have a tummy. They're a
Yeah.
woman. If they're over 12, you're a woman. Men don't have tummies ever. Ever.
God, I can't even talk about this anymore.
It's very
But there was a
interesting.
joke on Bill Maher, and I didn't get it, but now I guess I do, where he was talking about someone was being attacked, and it used to be, he was wanting to be attacked by different sexes, and he's like, it used to be a young Bruce Jenner or an old woman named Bruce Jenner, and I got to go back and watch that joke again, and because I was like, I'm missing something. I just thought it was the plastic surgery, but this is ridiculous.
But you add to the horrible plastic surgery he's had, and then he's got this long hair growing out. But no, this black and white picture. I've got to
and
find
it's
this
so
picture.
natural, the hair.
See, I wasn't kidding. Like I just made
God,
the
he
Renee.
is.
I'm not sure.
I made the
Let me
Renee
see.
Richards
Is
comment.
that the picture?
Yeah,
The-
that's
the
one of them.
Yes. Oh, isn't that bad?
That's one of them. But there's a
Oh yeah, that's
Plugs aren't always for electrical cords.
No.
So I had just made the Renee Richards comment, and I
Yeah.
thought, well, I'm going to put that into Google. Two things: Bruce Jenner and Renee Richards. I'm not saying Bruce Jenner is transgender, but he was looking awfully Renee coming out of a clinic with a bandaged throat after undergoing surgery to decrease his Adam's apple.
Right.
Ms. Richards wrote in her memoir, Second Serve, that she nearly died on the operating table during the same procedure. And this is these are the two pictures.
wow.
Are they both him?
No, the bottom one is Renee Richards.
Oh, eerily similar.
Yeah. Top
Oh,
one
but
is
she
Bruce.
never got rid of her Adam's apple, huh?
Well, no, you can see the cut there. She almost died on the operating table. I don't know what happened.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of that until Transamerica with
Oh.
Felicity Hoffman.
Yeah.
I never knew about the Adam's apple thing. 'Cause I don't really
Oh.
have a
Yeah, some people's though is like it's super prominent,
Yeah.
and other people's
like yours is not.
No, you guys. No, you're normal.
Is it 'cause
but
we're
there
fat?
are no.
there are guys, though,
There
that
are.
are
I'm gonna say yes on that one. Thank
There
you.
are
Yeah.
there are some men though who you
Really
know when it
prominent.
looks when it's really prominent. I think that I'm like envisioning men that are really tall and thin, so
Yeah.
maybe it has some. You know what I mean? Like very very tall and like really really thin
Of whom
men.
none are in this room.
So like I said, I had never heard it, but I knew there was a lot to do with the scarves. That's why drag queens wore scarves a lot, was to hide the
to hide
Adam's
the
apple.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But and I can imagine. I mean, you can sort of imagine being a guy.
I mean,
even like a snore, like
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
guy that maybe, especially if you're someone like Bruce who lives in that Hollywood world of nip and tuck here and there. If that you could make you uncomfortable. It's a really like, it's a big thing that you
sure.
see.
There's a limit, Bruce. Come on, I think we'll.
Yeah.
Well, and if the deal is that he is
And we can't say tranny.
Identifying-
Turns out we can't say tranny anymore.
No.
Turns out that's a bad
That's
word.
a bad
Get
thing.
all
That is a bad word.
upset.
and
Well,
we don't want to piss anybody off.
God, no, not this show.
But no, not us. But if
After
if
2
he,
hours of
you
Asian
know,
imitations, now we're gonna draw the line.
Ching chong chong. I'll
There
shoot
it
you.
is.
Hong Tong Fooey.
Amen.
Hong
There you
Kong
have it.
Fooey.
And an egg roll.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
What?
And an egg
Well,
roll.
no, I just the idea that if he married Kris Kardashian and she's kind of masculine, if you ask me.
Oh, that's true too.
She kind of manly.
I mean, no, but in the power and control and some kind of the look.
Oh, and I can't believe
I
I'm
mean,
going to ask
I
this
don't know.
question, but are any of those things his children?
Yeah, the two youngest girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
the ones that are like on full-on
The
horror
new-
mode now.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
also the boy, Brody Jenner,
Brody?
Brandon Jenner.
Brody Jenner is gorgeous.
Yes.
Those
But those
are
are from the
before.
Previous marriage.
Yeah.
But who cares?
And then there's another one from a previous marriage who's like a weird fat skater boy. It's strange. But then
weird fat skater
he's
boy.
such a weird non-looking like
with
them.
the hat.
Whoops, sorry.
I want to
But-
see the long fingernails.
But the girls
They're not. I mean,
are
they're
beautiful.
they're not like.
And I'm not interested in this because he's in any way related to that family of fucks that I hate. I'm interested in it because I used to like crush over this guy in my Wheaties box. Like I ate the most bland,
Right.
horrible cereal in the entire world
Because he was on the
for
box.
almost a year because he was on the box, and then I realized this tastes like cardboard.
Those
That's
are.
the hand.
Oh,
Oh.
It's a small picture, but can you kind of see very
Oh,
dainty,
yeah.
long?
but they're just unkept at this point. I think.
No,
they-
no, those are
no, they're
shiny.
manicured,
Oh well. okay.
right?
Yeah,
I mean, you
Oh, they're
totally
shiny.
see it, but they're like
because when you go to get the manicure, they say cut first.
Oh, they
yes,
always cut my.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, ugh.
Yeah, that's
He's like a
easier to see, I
vampire.
think.
He's a vampire.
he's just not looking great. Poor Bruce
So
Jenner.
that whole fucking family, no matter which side they came from, are
Train
just
wreck, toot,
fucked
toot.
up. All right, Katie, we got to talk about.
All right.
We have. Are you ready? Kid? You prepared?
I've been ready.
Oh, I'm sure you are. Here
I
we
was
go.
born ready.
Or
In sports and other stuff, we have some big news in the world of sports. Brand new out in the NFL? Question mark.
I like it.
Lots of news about Michael Sam, his relationship to Dante Stallworth, some other great supporters, Chris Cluey and Brendan Iambadejo. Comparing him to Tim Tebow, that's been on Twitter. Richard Petty's kind of a dick, and let's talk about hashtag Sochi problems.
Sochi problems.
And other
They look a
stuff.
lot like Pink Eye. I like-
So,
Oh, I'll drink that.
so the biggest news
That
in
needs vodka.
sports this week, and whenever okay, so we all know that I'm not like a gigantic sports enthusiast aside from women's basketball and apparently Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
But
You get caught up in the Olympics. There's
it's
no way you can't.
just really fun. But I always kind of start out when I'm looking for news stories here, looking at gay sports, right? And I always kind of go out gay sports,
like
and I'm
water sports.
That's exactly what I meant. Not at all.
Okay.
Hashtag not even a little bit. Gonna get an amen. And so I always
Amen.
kind of am looking for these kind of things. I have to say it was really great that my brother called me a couple days ago and he said, "Hey, are you still doing the sports on your podcast?" And I said yes. And he goes, "Well, this is really great for you." And I just thought it was really cool that he had thought of it and called. So Michael Sam is a big time draft prospect coming out of Missouri, and he could be the first openly gay NFL player. He has been he's a defensive lineman, and he publicly came out, as being gay on Sunday to the New York Times and ESPN. He said, "I just wanted to make sure I could tell the story my way, the way I want to tell it. I want to own my truth." He's a unanimous All-American in 2013, second unanimous All-American in Missouri history. He's got all kinds of accolades and awards behind him. And one of the neatest things is that, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's been out to his team
Yeah,
Yes.
since last
for
year. I
over a
think.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
since last season. And his team has been wholly supportive, completely behind him, and it hasn't changed their team dynamic. He's still a banging player, and he still is
He's a badass. I mean, truly.
couple ways, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
he is
Amen.
But she's
banging.
every analogy
Can I get
that
an
sounds
amen?
like a
He's
gay
a tight
analogy.
end.
Jesus.
So it's just really
Yeah, but that's
exciting.
going to be the problem. Is what Clayton, what you just said, because
No matter
you
what
just
they
listen
say.
to Sunday football. It doesn't matter. Or Saturday watching college. It doesn't matter. It's all kinds of
Double entendres.
absolutely amen.
Amen.
I'm truly, and so
Amen.
all of a sudden, the first time that he sacks somebody, or thank you. See, that's I'm not kidding.
It's
At
just
home,
fun.
it is. At home, I sat there and I'm like, what different things can I say?
Right.
Because that's what's going to happen. Or he gets up and congratulates somebody by slapping him on the butt.
And it's now like a
None of
homophobic
this,
thing.
right? He must like him,
Right.
None of these things would even be fucking noticed, and they're not. They're expected.
Well, and they're not.
expected.
And the thing is like play all of his game from the last season, and it wasn't noticed then either by him or the media or any of his teammates that knew he was openly gay,
That's
and
right.
he did not matter.
Yep.
And of course, you're getting a lot of blowback on Twitter.
You can't swing a
was
stick.
too easy.
Oh!
I'd,
Can I
sw-
get an amen?
I'd swing his amen.
He is really a good-looking guy.
He
That's
really
like
is.
side note.
Yeah.
But okay, so a lot of people are upset on Twitter, and it's like the really super typical backwoods people who are going fucking gross and fucking gay, and I mean, just like expand your vocabulary, just like a smidge,
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. And Obama's a communist was
Totally.
comment 3.
Yeah.
I think no, I meant to tell you.
Oh my God, I have it a moment. Go ahead. I
I
have to write
meant to
this
tell
down.
you that it was it turned to Republicans, like Republicans are horrible. I think I want to say like maybe 6 to 7 quotes down or comments down in Shirley Temple's death. It literally
Yeah.
like 6 comments down. It was like Republicans are destroying the world.
Yeah,
Give it a
because
little
she was a
bug.
Republican.
A little bug.
Today,
Up your nose.
local news here in Phoenix. I don't know if you heard that they busted unfortunately it's too late for you, Al. They busted a bike theft ring in Tempe. 3 guys got popped. It was a big sting. They found them. The big thing was all the comments looks like skinheads steal bikes. Obama supporters. Third comment. Third fucking comment. I'm like, geez and rice.
Ridiculous.
It was funny. I meant to tell you that earlier. But anyhow, one of the coolest. So what's really great is that you see a lot of idiots who don't matter on Twitter. But then you see, of course, a lot of the
here.
celebrities, on Twitter really coming out, and including Michelle Obama, coming out in support of Michael Sam and saying, we're proud of you and you're brave and good for you. And the coolest is that so Dante Stallworth is a retired NFL player. He played for the
Eagles.
and the New England Patriots. And he's like a badass. Like he's a big dude. He's like the kind of the quintessential like big badass NFL player.
Straight guy.
Straight
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
And he gets on, and it's long over a series of like a lot of tweets. But ultimately, what he was saying, and he provided specific examples, is look, he says, there's a multitude of issues that can arise in the long duration of an NFL season, some on the field and some off. You won't have any idea what those things are until it's already upon you. Michael Sam, you get a jump start controlling your media coverage. Good on him. And if an organization is too inept to not know how to deal with something that you have prior knowledge of, how are you ever going to handle anything else?
Oh.
How are you going to handle the
Wow,
unexpected?
that's genius. Who
Yeah.
said that?
Dante
Stallworth.
Stallworth.
Oh, that is genius.
Over the course, and he gave lots of examples of things that have happened in football, and he's like, this guy is putting it out there. There's no breaking story. There's no weird secrets. He's just like, hey, I'm gay, but also I'm a really great football player. Like, let's move on.
Yeah.
So amazing. This guy was just super
So
cool.
he's just like your WNBA, really, really extraordinary.
Brittany
tall
Griner.
person. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, very
Same
similar.
thing. She came out. There's a lot of gay women's basketball players that don't come out because they're afraid of negative publicity.
Backlash, sure.
But I think it's so different when you are just so ahead of it and you're like, yeah, so I'm gay, but also I'm over here playing incredibly well.
Yeah.
So
And
let's not talk about the also anymore. Let's make it about the football.
the Brittany Griner,
and-
like her being a lesbian was not an issue at all,
Right.
and she's still and although she had a kind of a horrible season, she's still one of the most popular women in WNBA. She's the one that's bringing in all of the straight people. And so, I mean, you just never know. You know what I mean? It's just, so the other thing, Chris Cluey, of course, some of our BFFs here at the show stood up for him as well. And I'm not going to read all of these things, but additionally, Brendan Iambedejo, one of our other BFFs, stood up for him as well and compared him, said he was a trailblazer like Jackie Robinson or Rosa Parks. You know, Jackie Robinson is the first black athlete coming out in Major League Baseball, and he's the first gay athlete who will probably be drafted. So really cool.
Who should be drafted?
Who should
better be drafted?
Who should be?
Yeah.
But then
And that's in May, right? Don't they do the draft
April.
in May? April.
then there was another NFL coach though who also took to Twitter anonymously. So God bless the anonymous coach. I think we knew who it was.
Was it a coach or was it a former coach?
I think it was a former coach.
Right. He's
But it was all over.
He's an asshole, and he was for the Jets. Black guy for the Jets. He's now a commentator. Son of a bitch, and the Chiefs. He was the.
But it was all of the Twitter posts though were under, or like Twitter or what, all of his comments were under former coach. Whereas like, you know, like the Dante Stallworth is coming out and saying, "Hey, this is me. I'm saying these things." This guy's like hiding behind
Herm
former
Edwards,
coach.
isn't it Herm Edwards? Herm Edwards is the black guy. That's
It might
sounds
be
like him.
another.
Yeah.
There might be more, but yeah, I think you're right. But he was the one that was specifically saying this is not going to fly in a locker room, and he's not going to get drafted. And the NFL is going to have his team is going to have a problem with this. And someone else came out, another celebrity, and said, "Let's call this what it is. You have a problem with this,
Right, yeah.
Nobody else is going to have a problem with this. It's you. Like, let's just be honest."
Yeah,
So
raise your hand if you have a problem with this. Like, there it is.
exactly. So really, really, really exciting stuff. Apparently, he had what was kind of cool as well, and this is according to the UPI. I don't even know what this is. Some blog I found, but apparently. Before he kind of revealed this, he was advised by Iambedejo, Jason Collins, Billy Bean, Wade Davis, and Chris Cluey. Like, he had kind of consulted all these different guys and said, "This is a big deal. Help me."
And I hope that they introduced him to the 4 NFL players that were going to come out last year, or the 4 major players.
Yeah, but that was a deal that was kind of, no pun intended, blown out of proportion by, I believe, Cluey and Iambedejo. I believe that they were saying these 4 people, like, we have people that are going to be coming out.
No, but there was from what I heard of that story was that there was 4 people that had set up a press conference so that they could come out together, and then not one of them would have to shoulder the whole responsibility, but that one of them backed out at the last minute, and then it was like, well,
That's
it was
very
kind of an
scary.
all for
Yeah,
one.
It is, yeah.
What a scary thing. So really, he is so brave for doing it, and no harm, no foul to the guys that chose not to come out or got scared. I mean, it is very scary, but how brave of this guy to do it on his own. And the other thing, our other friend, Richie Incognito, also went to Twitter and said, "I'm proud of you. Good for you."
I saw that, but I was like,
Whether or not that's just like a press thing, but still, like,
the right thing to do.
it's the right thing to do. Whether or not he actually believes it, or it's just his PR manager going, "Come on, here's an opportunity for you to not look like a dick," you know. But but regardless, it makes him not look like a dick, and it makes him look.
And that's exactly what Richie Incognito needs is to not look like a dick.
Yeah. So pretty cool. So here's somebody else that looks like a big giant asshole.
Herm Edwards is breaking down the Michael Sam coming out story. Like, he just found out about gay people for the first time in his life. was what Carl from something from Twitter.
I can't handle it.
So just a little background on this kid. Grew up in, I think it's called Hitchens, Texas, or something like that. 40 miles southeast of Houston near Galveston Bay. 7th of 8 children. 3 of his siblings are dead. 2 are in prison. One of those 3 that are dead is just missing, and they don't know what happened. His mother is Jehovah's Witness. His father is Southern Baptist. And his father was at Denny's near his home to celebrate his birthday. The father was celebrating his own birthday when his son sent him a text message saying, "Dad, I'm gay." The party stopped cold. The father said, "I can't eat no more. I don't want my grandkids raised in that kind of environment. I'm an old school, I'm a man and a woman type of guy." And it turns out that when Michael goes home to visit his family, he stays with friends. and that he was not raised there, that it was the coaches at the high school that kind of raised him. And I can't remember which coach raised him, but I guess he used to just like carry things for the team, and he was kind of like, and then he was bigger, so they were like, they let him play, let him be more active, and then finally they made him a starter. And then he got to Missouri, and he was small for Missouri, and he had a hard time fitting in, but he just generally won them all over.
Just amazing.
Turns out he's a really funny kid that sings and makes up songs on the spot to like get people to like him, and is like really super charming from the stories
Which is
that I've
why
read.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like his team didn't care because they liked him.
And they really did like him, and he came out to. It turns out everybody this town is so small that all they do is go watch the football. So he was a local hero. So now they all have to go back and realize they were cheering on a gay boy. Here they were, this town of Baptists that's so anti-gay, and they had spent a whole year cheering on a gay boy.
And not
Hopefully-
just that, he's been there his whole life.
Hopefully
and nothing happened.
hopefully it's that kind of thing that will change. Not everyone, because
Right.
there will be the folks that go back and look at him and say faggot, and
But
I
have you
I never
ever
liked
seen
him anyway.
Have you ever seen the movie Phenomenon?
I don't remember.
John Travolta.
Oh, yeah.
Like all of a sudden, it's John Travolta and
That's not with that really white kid, right?
No, that's Powder.
No, that's
But
Powder.
they're very, very similar
Yeah.
movies, and I often get them confused.
Okay.
John Travolta gets kind of hit in the head, whatever, bolt of lightning kind of thing, whatever, and all of a sudden he has his brain just like he becomes really, really smart, and everybody
I wish
he was
that happened to me.
everybody. I have no idea, but like everybody was his friend, and he was the best guy in the whole town, and everything was great. And now all of a sudden, well, I remember this one time he did this. Oh, I remember. Oh yeah, he's this kind of where because it's something different, and they figure out something has changed. All of a sudden, they were completely against him in this movie.
Yeah.
So the
Very
idea of that
similar.
similar idea where everything has been great, and he was the hometown hero and everything. Well, I do remember this one time that Michael Sam's that remember when he walked in, and blah 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 happened. I mean, it's small town shit.
But all you can really
That's
hope
crazy.
is
We hope not. Yeah.
all you can hope is that one person is changed by each.
Yeah.
One
you're right.
person, even if just one person. And, there are a lot of open-minded NFL teams and coaches. And, there are a lot of guys, I hope to God, and a lot of coaches that will, and I think that there are, that will look at him based on his talent, not on his personal life.
Yeah.
But what they're saying, again, some are saying is that Peter King, who is a bigwig when it comes to football and Sports Illustrated writing, one GM said that he doesn't think Sam will be drafted. This GM, of course, anonymously said this, that we don't think he's a very good player. The reality is he's an overrated player.
Oh, and that's all of a
Coming
sudden.
into this, all of a sudden,
All of a
right.
sudden, he was the MVP of they won the Cotton Bowl, but all of a sudden,
He's just overrated.
he's overrated.
It's really
So,
sad.
it is
but
sad.
good for him. And
Yeah.
either way, he will have a long career. And God forbid it's not in football, it will be in something. And he'll be
Yeah.
very successful for being himself. A lot of people, the one other thing about this before I move on is that I thought it was interesting. People were really comparing him to Tim Tebow. Some folks on Twitter. And as much as I hate Tim Tebow, or I just think he's a douche nozzle, I had to agree with some of these comparisons, and I don't know what you guys think, but folks were saying, Michael Sam comes out of the closet, and everybody talks about how great he is. Tim Tebow prays at a game, and everyone's against him and bad, shame on you, and don't push your Christianity in my face. And I have to say, I am that person that's saying,
kinda
like,
true.
suck it, Tim Tebow. I don't want your pray. Even though, like,
But he came out with he was like threatening to come out with an anti-abortion ad during the Super Bowl.
so, but, and devil's advocate, he's taking a stance on a really heated issue.
Right.
And people are like, boo. And Michael Sam, while not taking a stance, he's being authentic to himself on a really controversial issue.
If Tim Tebow had come out and just played football, and then somebody found out he was a Christian, it's not going to be a huge story. It's not going to be,
and it didn't
oh
affect
my
his,
God.
It didn't
But
affect his draft chances.
Right. And
Okay,
it
but,
wouldn't affect
but
his
it's not,
chances.
not found out. But not found out. Like if Tim Tebow came out and said, I'm a Christian and I love Jesus, and everything I do in my life will be to serve my Lord.
Right.
right? Because that's kind of the same thing.
No,
like
and
I am gay,
but
and this
that's
is
Warner.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
oh, good
Couldn't
point.
be
Yeah.
any more
No,
Jesus-y.
super good point.
It was just that this
Jesus-y?
kid,
Jesus-y.
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 Amen.
Amen.
It was just the way
Really
he
great
came out
point.
holier than thou
yes,
with it all.
no, you're totally right.
And the
And
threat,
as John 3:16 and
Yes.
everything
and
else.
even that, I was
I didn't
okay
care.
with
What
that.
I'm saying is that
Yeah.
that's how it was pushed.
yeah.
And
It
he was the
really
coming
pushed.
Messiah.
No, you're.
Right.
The other thing was he was the risen Messiah for like,
And so, like, I wish that I would have had the thought because then that would have been a great like response to some of those Twitter people.
and absolutely
it's
all
not
of them.
Tim
Thank
Tebow's
God
Christianity
first. There's
because
all
Kurt Warner's. Yeah,
right. I mean, they're all doing the signs of the cross and all that stuff. They're all praying. They're all thanking God. I mean, they did a prayer circle during the Buffalo. The New York Giants did a prayer circle.
right.
It was called
Right
a buffalo stance.
Yeah, right before the kickoff, and I'm like, we can't compete with 8 black guys praying.
Right.
Of course we lost.
Right.
They got a prayer circle together. We
Yeah.
were doomed. The kick was going to go wide right no matter what we did. Jesus had a foot on the
That's
ball.
good. That's an interesting like
Yeah.
angle to it.
They're very-
because it was
it's-
something that I saw on Twitter and it made me really kind of
But
think.
it does make you think, like, is your dislike for Tebow that, or was it just that he was just a douche?
Guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
And
Well,
not to
and-
take something
and-
from another part of this
Yeah.
story that got me a little heated.
He throws the ball a few times and it's a Hail Mary. And
Can I get
you
an
know,
amen?
and then, but there was all of that, and then after every time that happened, and he would win, what is it, like 4 times or something?
And then he'd have
And
to
it was-
bow on
and,
the
and Jesus,
take a knee.
it was because Jesus
take the wheel.
Jesus take the ball. I mean, really, like it was.
I say find this Jesus and draft him because clearly he's a hell of a
he
player.
really is. He really is. He's something.
So moving on a little bit.
We got a lot of like 2 stories.
Yeah,
like
we
3.
really have.
One
It's a
story
big
per
week.
hour, yeah.
It's a big week. So Danica Patrick, we all know her, right?
you know
Yeah,
who that is?
NASCAR driver, GoDaddy.
NASCAR driver. Yeah,
GoDaddy.
she's a hottie. She's
Right,
a
that's
really. She gets a lot of press because she's a very attractive female driver in a male-dominated industry.
And most of the time sucks. She doesn't win.
She does not win,
Right.
but let's not be an asshole about it.
What did Richard Petty have to say?
Richard Petty? No, not Al. Richard Petty.
I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this is great.
That- I didn't hear it like that, but now that I think that's
yeah.
funny.
No, that's what I
Well, don't
meant.
be an asshole about it, Al. Amen.
There it
I'm
is.
gonna go back and watch that video because I know that it was just like,
I had to play devil's advocate
Damn,
on that
Gina.
one. Damn, Gina. Amen.
Well,
That was really funny. Let's
Yep.
not be an asshole about it.
Richard Petty.
or Petty.
Can I get an amen?
hallelujah, amen.
Oh, shit.
So Richard Petty is just being a jerk, and he's saying, "Yeah, I think she could win if everybody else stays home." And I don't get what this means. He said, if she'd have been a male, nobody would ever known she showed up at a racetrack. Oh, that she's just not good enough.
Well, yeah, but she's hot and she's a female,
Right.
And so that's why she gets the press,
Attention.
Right. So
Yeah.
just kind of sucks. And just like,
Because she's just an average driver, or
Yeah.
less than average according to him.
right. So he's commented on her involvement in NASCAR races before, saying he just doesn't think it's a sport for women.
See, now that's
oh, gosh,
now
darn
that's
it.
that's where you become
That-
a dick.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly. Like,
Because there's a lot of schlubby men.
yes, and if she's not super, but so maybe she's not the number one racer. She's brought a lot of positive attention to your sport and a lot of money
And a lot of money.
to your sport.
Focus on the money, Petty.
And
Don't be petty, Petty.
Yeah, or just like be petty. And
Talk
look at the
petty.
money.
Petty,
Yeah,
Petty,
right,
Petty,
yeah.
Petty. Go.
Just be cynical, and you got to
Petty,
hold.
petty.
They tell 2 friends. They
That-
take
that's
2
right.
friends.
And there,
They
how
tell
many
2 friends.
people are not NASCAR fans?
And-
They're Danica Patrick fans that are
Which
showing
is
up,
true.
males and females.
And she may not be winning in NASCAR a lot, but she is one of the most successful female auto racers in history. She is the only woman to ever win a major open wheel race. She finished first at the 2008 IndyCar Series race in Japan. She has 6 top
they can't
10s
drive
in
anyway.
the
She's
Indy
taller,
500 and was third in 2009. The best finish ever for a woman in a historic event for a woman. So, I mean,
Yeah.
she has some merit to her. She's
Right.
got skill. She's not just like
Right.
a floozy.
He's just a douche.
He's just such a douche.
She's
yeah,
like
and
the
old
Johnny
school.
Weir.
You
Very
know,
much
yeah,
so, right.
Totally
figure,
old school.
because Johnny Weir, I always think no creds, and then I look him up and I'm like, you just never won at the Olympics. You which is what Tara Lipinski's little dig about. I wish I knew what it was like to,
I
flop at
didn't.
the Olympics.
That's so
I can
great
know
to
what
hear
she's.
that.
I can only imagine what it's like to do well everywhere else and then come here and flop, Johnny.
And Johnny's like, is my
They're
makeup
good
on?
together.
Is my
though.
makeup
They
on?
really,
Yeah.
they are having fun.
Fix my eyelashes.
So anyhow, it's just they're just calling her a marketing machine. She's not a race car driver. She's
But that's not true. She's finishing. She's
finishing. She's a
Yeah.
race. She's driving a race car. She is a race car driver.
Driver, yeah.
Like so, it
they're all
just
just making left fucking turns.
is one of these things that is just just kind of is highlighting just really really sexist and. I think that Danica Patrick has made some questionable choices in my opinion, in some of her marketing mechanics, right? And some of her GoDaddy commercials and like, and I
Selling
get it.
herself, you
She's
mean?
selling her sex and I get it. There's like the feminist side of the argument that says like, you don't have to you don't have to like show off your tits to be a good driver, like to make money.
But
you have
distract
to
other
show off
drivers,
your-
though.
That is true.
Right.
Yeah.
But that has brought her a lot of attention. In turn, bringing attention to NASCAR and to
Right.
and to the sport.
And then if
in
you watch
general.
what goes on in the pits, in the pit of those races, it's filthy. Like they literally have hookers down there.
yeah,
Oh, do they?
Like
I've
oh
never-
yeah,
no,
the
I've
Indianapolis
not ever paid
500, not a
attention.
place for children.
no,
You know what I mean?
Sure.
They got women working.
Yeah.
Wow.
She laughed it off. Ultimately, she says, I don't really care. There's going to be people who believe in you and people who don't, people who say bad things about me and people who don't.
Yeah.
I see it on Twitter. Some people actually want me to die, but at the end of the day, you get over stuff and you just know you're doing a good job.
And Petty's going to die before her anyways. Who cares?
Because
Yeah.
he looks like he might be doing that same heroin that's coming out of Pittsburgh.
And
And
they-
he's got the bad.
Yeah.
He likes him a Happy Meal every now and again.
He wants some of that Western PA heroin.
I want a toy.
Not
Yeah.
looking good.
No.
They did that now. What's her face? Erin Burnett is back from
I like
maternity leave.
her.
I do too. And she's a quiet little conservative. Like
Oh,
she's
okay.
a big conservative.
Okay.
I'm not sure about how she stands socially, but fiscally she is a Republican to the core.
Oh, yeah. No, I knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
We knew. I think we knew that she was.
So she's back from maternity leave, a little bitter, little angry. I don't know
She
if she's
is?
angry that she came back to work or angry that somebody
Who's she
took her spot
married
for
to?
6 weeks. I don't know. Hopefully someone named Burnett. I have no idea. But anyway, so she was
not how I
talking
thought it
about
was.
the Olympics, and one of the, I don't think it was Bodie, but one of the skiers had a really shitty showing. Like just
Bodie Miller did have he didn't have a great shot.
But I don't think it was him because I think that he would have already been crucified and we'd already been talking about it. So I think it was a lesser known person came down the hill and he's like, that one I wouldn't even, that would have been, or he said something like, that would have been bad even in women's skiing. And then some other commentator said something about, well, oh, why don't you just go, well, she's good, but it's just because she's doing a woman's slope. And Erin Burnett was like, yes, some of the events are slightly smaller. Yes, we're not as tall as you. Yes, there are physical differences. But if we're here just the Olympics just so you can bash that the women are doing something different than you, then get off the TV and stop talking.
yeah.
She's like, make yourself
I'm
a
trying to
foot
find
shorter
it.
and do the same track then.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Backwards and in heels.
Yeah. But come back
Thank you,
when you're
Ginger
5'8"
Rogers.
After,
and
yeah.
do that same track.
After having two kids.
For the record, Richard Petty, 76 years old.
Oh, he'll be
this
dead
month.
soon.
Yeah, he's
Fingers-
not.
Should we want to
We
go ahead
should.
and put him
Yeah,
on
we
the-
should. Well,
No,
we
'cause
want him
that
to
keeps
die.
him alive.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'll give just a really quick total in the medal count. I will say that anyone that's interested, check out hashtag Sochi Problems. It's really funny.
it's
it's
hysterical.
really really
Oh,
funny.
read some of them.
So oh goodness, I'm not going to even find them. There's like From Russia with Love, and it is
The condom. Is that what that
the
is?
condom Olympic ring.
Yeah.
But some of the other Sochi problems are a lot of them are photos from the really shoddy jobs in on the hotels.
Like the hotels?
The bathrooms, like bathrooms without stalls. It's just like toilets on the wall, no stalls. Toilets on the wall with chairs facing them. Toilets on the wall with literally no pipes. There's a newscaster who's standing. It's hysterical because he just looks deadpan, like he's just staring at the camera, and the curtains behind him have all fallen down on the ground, and he's it's like on him, like the curtains fell on him. There's the American bobsledder who was locked in his
He's
bathroom.
Locked
He
in the
is so funny.
Hilarious.
And then is it true that he was in an elevator? as
Yes, he
well?
got locked in an
also
elevator.
got locked in an elevator. Yeah, which they were
I would
laughing.
think
Couldn't
strike
bust his
three,
way
I
out
don't
of that
know,
one.
And
yeah.
Bob Costas asked him, he goes, so your event's like 7 days away. Seems like a long time when you can't get out of rooms.
Right. I would. Well, and kind of in Russia, you really shouldn't have to worry about that because like windows are falling in, and you should have ways. Because the a CNN gal was laying in her room apparently, and the window just fell in.
Oh, didn't hear that.
And she wasn't able to like do. There was nothing she could do, and
Right.
so it was like 30 degrees, and she had to try
So-
to sleep.
Well, it'll be
Awesome.
60 in a minute. Just lay there.
Just lay there.
gonna warm
Give
right
it
up.
a couple
Did you see
hours.
the tub? Like
It'll be sunny.
somebody went into. They were showing the problems, and they're like, "Well, so we have a tub and a toilet, but here's the tub, and she could move it,
Oh, no.
like just all over."
That is crazy. There is one of our figure skaters, and it's not one of the guys whose names that it's very popular, but he moved out of Olympic Village and like moved somewhere else to a different hotel that actually like is a hotel.
Well, is that the Russian guy that's part of, he's really Russian, but he's on our pairs team?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I think he's the one that said, I actually know people near here.
because he's staying in a hotel.
Oh, because there's one he's one of ours, and I want to say he was born in like Kiev,
Yeah.
but he's an American citizen. And I think he's the one that said, I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
Because my relatives are just outside of town, so I'm not
Yeah,
gay and I'm going to be fine.
I just need right. Anyway, it's just really funny. It's all hashtag Sochi problems, and it's all a lot of funny pictures. The latest medal count is Norway is sweeping with 11 medals. They are like really kicking ass. A lot of skating. Canada is in second place with 9 medals. Germany has 5. The Netherlands have 8 total medals, so that's a little bit out of order. And the United States has 7.
Okay.
We still only have 2 gold?
2 golds, 1 silver, and 4 bronzes.
Okay, so they didn't do any half pipes today.
right.
Because I'm keeping track.
Okay.
Or they
I like
did,
that.
and we just didn't medal in any of them. But anyway,
I doubt that what's his face didn't medal.
USA, he did not.
Huh?
He didn't.
Are you talking
You said they
about
didn't
White?
have it.
Are you talking about White?
They said they said
Shaun White
canceled.
has- he did not.
It was canceled it was postponed, and all the trials were postponed. But yeah, he got 4th.
Yeah.
He fell.
Oh, I didn't think he got 4th.
yeah.
I thought he was 11th.
I thought he was like way
way
I
down.
thought it was
No, he
4th.
wasn't
Oh, I'm
even
wrong.
in the scope at
Yeah,
all.
that's why I'm 4th.
Oh, I'm wrong. Nope, sorry.
No,
Oh,
he
so
was.
I'll watch that when I get
I think
home.
he was like
Yeah.
11th. He got nothing.
He did fall.
Yep.
I didn't hear about him falling. I just heard that he was way down out there.
Yeah. Not cute.
Is that it? Are you wrapping?
And that's it. I mean, I could go on, but it's 9:43, so that's
we're wrapping
it for sports
And
other stuff.
Well, speaking of some other stuff, I just saw this pop up on Facebook. Nevada state officials will no longer defend the state's amendment banning same-sex couples from marrying against legal challenge. Both the governor and the attorney general's offices made that announcement
Wait, where?
on
Say
Monday.
again?
Nevada.
Oh.
Nevada state officials will no longer defend the
State
state's
by state.
amendment banning. So, and can you imagine all those quickie goddamn drive-through weddings in Vegas? Of course they will.
Yes,
That's what they're going to do. But in the meantime, we're going to do this.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
Huh?
Huh?
Miracle on Ice as well. Steve Gutenberg.
Who does he play in that?
Jim Craig.
Sorry, we're discussing Bruce Jenner in movies is what we're discussing right
Like
now.
the goalie.
No, you have the wrong person.
I do not.
Steve Gutenberg didn't play the goalie. Steve Gutenberg would be like 60 now.
If we only had a way to look it up.
Steve Gutenberg was like 35 years old and Can't Stop the Music in 1979. He wasn't in Miracle on Ice in 2002.
Katie,
with
this
Kurt
is the
Russell.
picture I was talking about, Bruce
I'm
Jenner.
talking about there was one way
Oh
before
my
that.
God! Yes,
That was
Yes.
done.
that's amazing.
Oh, okay. If you don't mean the movie with John Krasinski and all that, I'm like,
No,
okay.
Not the new one. Not with them.
All right. You can settle down and put that down. Then I believe.
So
you.
I'm going to show people. So this is to the camera. So that's a picture of. You can look it up online. It's
that's
what from
pretty good.
what's it from what movie? Al?
Can't Stop the Music. It's the Village People movie. There's only one.
Okay, so they can find that.
That's pretty gay.
Oh, gayer than Christmas. Because that's the reason, when he showed me the picture, I'm like, I can't believe you're
Well, see, the-
focusing on the blonde woman in the middle and not the village people
Village people
behind
are
them.
behind him.
But that should be the first thing you notice after the half shirt.
That's exactly.
After
it.
the tummy tea should be the village people.
All right. So anyway, it's thoughtful vulgarity. Where are we going with this? Uh-oh, Marnie's going to show you up something.
Oh, there was a 1981 film. That feels like a TV movie. Oh, American television biographical sports film for ABC. All right. I don't pay attention to those. Oh, but it had Jessica Walter. I might have. All right. Oh, Jesus, I do remember that because Carl Malden was in it. Okay, if... Oh, just look at her cheating and getting out of the question. So we'll start with Katie June. What is the one thing you'd most like to change about the world?
Oh, I think I've made that very clear.
Well, apparently tonight it's guns.
Tonight, and I don't.
And you only have to do one country because it turns out the rest of them fine about it.
No, I don't really I don't talk about it that often. I don't I try not. I have to just dial it back or I get really upset about it. But yeah, I think that I watched a special recently, or I've watched pieces of, I haven't watched it in its entirety, Diane Sawyer special about young guns
Drinking.
in America.
Yeah, I'm drinking wine on
Right.
TV.
Yep, ding. Young
man.
guns in America.
2020.
And it's all about guns in the homes when your children are there, when children are going to their friends' houses to play, or they're going for sleepovers, or they're and parents go to bed and the kids are trying to do something cool, and all of these quote unquote responsible gun owners who just leave guns in their drawers or in their purses, and they did different segments and kind of hidden video of mom leaves her purse or leaves a gun in her purse and throws it over her chair. Kid, who's so great because I'm such a responsible gun owner, then goes into the purse when she's not there and pulls the gun out and starts playing with it and looking at it. And it was these tests, these hidden camera tests. So it's very disturbing.
Yeah.
It's happening more and more and more and more and more that you can kill you can kill anyone wherever you are for whatever reason you want. And so that's what I would change.
But now, does it have to come up in sleepovers are coming? Are you going to ask questions?
Oh, yes. Oh, 100%. And I'm not going to feel weird about it or guilty.
Good.
I read an article recently about some parents who are choosing to go sleepover free, and they're doing late overs where, they're allowing their children to stay late, but maybe not sleep over. And I don't know about that because I did sleepovers and it was fine and it was fun, but 110 fucking %. You talk to the parents and you find out what's happening and you ask point blank, do you have guns in your home? I think that's a pretty fair question.
Yeah, I would too. I just can't imagine okay, what kind of crazy you got going on behind closed doors there? And I think that's an easy one.
Really easy. Yeah. So that's my answer.
All right. Marnie Ryer, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Amen.
What's the one thing you would change about the world?
All the fucking crazy. Just, every time you turn on any kind of news at all, there's something else that makes you kind of look up and say, are you kidding? Or just what we talked about earlier with people you threw popcorn at me. I'm going to shoot you now because I'm afeared. What? It's ridiculous. And getting people the help that they would need if it is about mental illness kind of issues. But I think people are hiding behind that.
Oh,
and I
definitely.
think that's the part that's kind of pissing me off because there are people that really,
quote unquote,
really need
you
the
can't
help.
really tell who's hiding and who's not.
Yeah.
If you say it, then
And
or
what
if you
they
say
did
I'm
was
really
crazy.
scared, or if you say I'm kind of crazy, I'm kind of insane.
But
some people are.
But the problem is that the way laws and things are written on the books says in that moment, were you
crazy?
Were
Were
you
you
crazy,
insane? Were you
basically?
legally
Right.
insane at the moment?
Yeah.
Right. And that's the hard part, and people are hiding behind it. And I sat there today working on other stuff, but watching that on HLN and watching.
Oh, mine was CNN straight up.
Oh yeah, no, I was watching HLN and watching this guy just sit there and he really, I firmly believe he thinks it was okay what he did. What? But it doesn't make him crazy. It just makes him an asshat. I
Yeah.
mean
a murderer, just a
murderer,
Yeah.
cold-blooded murderer, exactly, with a legal excuse.
A horrible, horrible, horrible man.
Yeah. So I don't know if it would be that trying to change the crazy and get those people to help. or if it's in conjunction with the legal system and really kind of
And do you think it's a
not reinventing, but
Do you think it's a PC thing now to say, or to think like, and maybe not from that point of view, but I think, like, don't you think you're kind of obliged to tell somebody, I believe your reality? Like, if that's what your reality is, and not with him, I won't say with him, but we'll say with the Pharaoh, Dylan, I think
Mia
it's-
Farrow?
yeah, Mia Farrow's daughter. Like, that's your reality. If that's what you think happened when you were 7, then that's what happened to you when you were 7. Like, it could be a memory that was instilled in you. It could be a real memory. But if you're saying it happened to you, then are we just being
yeah,
politically
but does
correct?
that then make Woody Allen?
No,
in
because it
that
was
regard?
investigated. Because
Right,
it was investigated,
exactly.
and everyone
So-
did their job and said no to prosecution. But if it's what she remembers, then we have to treat her like it's what she remembers, right?
No, you have to look at her and say, okay, I believe you. No, but enough.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I wonder. Like, sometimes do you just have to buy someone's, and actually you don't have to, but yeah, I think you do. Like, if someone says this is what happened to me, then okay, then you believe it, so I'm going to believe it with you. But it
we're
doesn't.
kind of
what are
condescending.
your
I mean,
it
that's super
doesn't-
condescending.
It
at
is,
that
but it
point.
doesn't
It's
make
like, well,
it doesn't make it actionable. It just makes it
And
just says it's what you think happened.
Right, we get it, but
I'm
what's
hearing
your?
you.
But there are consequences still.
Yeah.
Like, this happened to me, so I killed someone, and now I'm going to prison forever, or I'm possibly being executed because, like, it happened to me, and that is it's so bad. I'm not talking about
Right.
that sounded really horrible because I
Right.
don't mean to make that kind of a sound.
And that's
in
that
talking
fine
about
line with someone who comes
sexual
up to
abuse or something, but like, he
But what if
showed a
that
gun to
claim-
me, so I murdered him in cold blood.
but what
and,
if that claim was made against you?
like, I'm
Child abuse.
oh god,
Child abuse or child molestation. What if that claim is made against you and it's been something that's been proven like no?
But your life is ruined forever. Like,
Yeah.
we've learned that from so many different cases that as soon as it's said, you're just done. Like,
Because and we're taught, which we should, and it's the same thing with the folks that I work with developmental disabilities. That they say this happened, so and so touched me, or this happened, or whatever. You believe them. You don't. It's not that they don't get questioned, just like with children, but you believe them. You're not going to look at them and go, "Oh, now let's not make up any stories."
right, because then it's
Yeah.
the trust.
And
So
what
it's-
if it's real? Sure.
So it's a very real thing of political correctness. Or like, okay, if that's what you believe happened, then that's what. Because you can be a part. Like, we could all watch something happen right there, and all 4 of us would describe it differently and have a different memory of the same thing. And some of us would take our own personal things and be like, "Oh, that was gross," and some people would be like, "Well, that happened." So, what would you change about the world?
3 things come to mind. And oddly, the first one is an irony for me to even think this because it's tolerance, because I don't tolerate a lot of shit. So tolerance would be one for people. And then I would get rid of, if I could just eliminate ignorance, that would be 2 big things, because you'd save a lot of goddamn time if everybody was educated and knew what the hell was going on in a lot of facets of the world.
No, but that's not new. That's just.
No, I mean, that would
But
be nice. And then
it'd be great.
And then the other thing that I think would, if we were just to eliminate it, because when you look back across history and time, what has been the biggest thing that everybody has ever fought over?
Oh, religion.
Just get religion. Just eliminate it altogether. Just eliminate it. It never happens. There's no religion. If you want to believe in a mushroom or a chickpea or whatever the fuck, fine. But that's. Everything is just battle.
Yes.
All in the name of God. They're going to kill everybody, and I just think
don't
it's
get it.
ridiculous. And the funny thing is, I remember being, not the funny thing is, but I remember being in probably 10, 11, and I was with my father at his house, and the news was on. And I remember 2 things about one news broadcast you watched. One was they showed a shot of the what is not the Dow, the stock exchange, where the floor of the stock market, and it was just filthy. There's paper everywhere, and everything was all a mess. Blah 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 blah. So I remember him making a comment to me that they clean that every day, so it's not a mess. They clean it up every day. And then there was something else about somebody fighting 2, and I can't remember who it was. 2 people fighting, and he made a comment. They've always fought. They will always fight. Like it's just a religion. They're always fighting over some
the
goddamn.
Irish, the Irish and the English.
I
yeah.
forget whoever the hell it was, but I realized, and even today, like as you grow up and you drive around, you realize there's never been a time in my life when I don't hear the new news and there's something about some Istan or some bull. Whatever, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's dead. Or
Yeah.
today, 37 people died in a bust. Whatever the fuck it is.
In Syria,
and it drives
right
me.
now, it's just hideous, and you see children bloodied.
It's kind of
and-
it's crazy how you kind of
About
become kind of numb to it because
Desensitized.
Because they've always fought, they will always
they
fight.
will always fight, and it's just over what? Over I believe this is powerful. Now you believe this is powerful. So fucking what?
Yeah.
Just quit it.
Or like when they walked out because of the Google alphabet, they had Iran and Israel walk out next to each other. I think that's even in our alphabet. They would be next to each other, and they were saying like, "Oh, wouldn't you want to be backstage with that?" Like, how bad was that? That the countries that are like most at war and like Iran spends all of its time wanting to wipe out Israel, and Israel spends all of its time wiping out the number 2 person in charge of nuclear proliferation. What's the word? Proliferation. That the number 2 person in Iran is always mysteriously dead. Probably because the Israelis killed him. You know what I mean? Like, but they're at work, and so here's their athletes. Did they come together in the spirit of the Olympics of like all wars stop so a couple of men could get naked and wrestle? Or, which if you think about it, is really what the Olympics was.
It's what it's all
Right.
about.
Well, and accountability. I mean, the idea that there is no accountability that goes along with any of what, people don't take any kind of accountability.
But even if we're not
for-
even talking about the foreign, it's right here, right
Right
in
here.
this
Yeah,
city,
yeah.
in every city across this wonderful
yeah.
United States. Every religion is still fighting.
and
We don't have
after-
knockout, drag out wars.
But we don't even bother with religion here. Like the Mexicans are Christians. It's a Christian nation, and we act like they're terrorists.
Right
Like,
now, right.
Well, right
They're-
after 9/11.
They just
the-
tan better
the-
than we do.
The gentleman,
do a lot of things.
in Mesa, who were the garb.
He was a sheik.
Forgive me, he was
Right.
sheik, and he was murdered because he's one of those fucking terrorists.
Right.
According to the people, I mean,
Or the
because
people
we're
that went
just-
to the temple. Remember the ones that went to the
Yeah.
temple and shot all those
The
people?
Buddhist
They're
temple
like,
back in the early 90s?
No. It was just a
after-
couple years ago, and they're like, we
do recall that.
we're not that religion. Like you
Right.
got the wrong ones.
Right.
Like,
Was that here?
No. It was here in
wasn't here,
America. It wasn't
but
here
I
in
wasn't here in
Arizona.
Phoenix.
That was like up in the.
Right.
It seemed like it was up in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
area?
It was in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
And it's like, hold on a
terrifying.
minute. Like, figure out. There's
is wrong with
difference.
you?
Like, but we invaded a country where George Bush was like, well, they're Muslim. No, there's a couple different
Yeah.
kinds.
Yeah.
And
well,
you just started a civil war, you dumbass.
Right.
Yeah.
Quit painting with a broad brush,
Yep.
bastard.
So
Just keep
And your fine,
painting.
sir?
Like, if he just went to painting. Mine would be the technology that keeps us moving more and more into ourselves and indoors and not so like outside and interacting with other people, because I think the more you can sit there on a
You who praises a DVR and a television flat screen.
right, but if it wasn't there, maybe I would go outside. I mean, I'm not I don't think I'm intolerant of anyone, but if you're just sitting there on a computer over and over and over again, and you can just call somebody fuckers anonymously and just keep up your hate, and you never get to interact with people,
sure.
then what, you know what I mean? Then you're just going to get rooted in that thing that you're sitting inside your house creating this little chamber of hell.
And kids just playing their video games rather
Yeah.
than going out and playing.
And so all of a sudden you
Interacting.
just
Yeah.
shoot those people over and over and
Socialization.
again. You're like, yeah, but if you got out and you met some people, you might find out that there's different people with different beliefs, and you might not write such horrible things on the internet.
Or you might have a reason to say, I hate people.
Yeah,
I mean, either way, but
I went
but
outside and I decided to come back
I
in. Yeah.
experienced it, and now I have a reason.
And there
Yeah.
we are. End of hour 3. You've done it again. It's the show on Q Talk America. I'm here with Katie, Marnie, and Al. I'm Clayton McKee. Thank you for joining us. We will be here again next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. You join us if you will. If you won't, we will leave you with this parting statement. We will see you next Tuesday.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.